But I say unto you, love your enemies. Bless them that curse you. Do good to them that hate you. And pray for them which despitefully use you and persecute you.
Which is the first commandment of all?
Hear, O Israel, the Lord our God is one Lord. Thou shalt love the Lord thy God with all thy heart, and with all thy soul, and with all thy might, and with all thy strength. This is the first and great commandment, and the second is like unto it. Thou shalt love thy neighbor as thyself. On these two commandments hang all the law and the prophets.
Master, thou hast said the truth. There is one God, and none other but He. And to love Him with all the heart, and with all the understanding, and with all the soul, and with all the strength, and to love his neighbor as himself, is more than all the whole burnt offerings and sacrifices.
Thou art not far from the kingdom of God.
Yo, and we are live to the three people that's here. How we doing, Roger? You good?
Oh, good. How about yourself?
Yeah, good. You sound a little low there. Are you away from the computer? Hello? Are you away from the computer?
PJ?
Yeah, I can hear you now. I could barely hear you a second ago.
Don't ask me. Hold on.
It's like you were miles away.
It's the new microphone. It's picking up a lot of echo.
Yeah, now I see it. Yeah, it was weird. It's like you were right away from it. Now you're right next to it. That's what it sounds like.
Yeah. I got to pull it closer to me. Yeah. And there was like a delay there for a second. I don't know why.
Oh, I don't know. These things happen. Like my internet, illogical. Good to see you, bro. Good to see you, man. Thanks for coming. My internet went out about 2:30 in the morning, 3 o'clock when I woke up to go to the toilet. Yeah, it was for some reason the broadband box, everything was okay, and it was just saying nothing was on. I'm like, what the hell's going on? So I just switched the box back off and on, and then it started working again. So yeah, they're a pain in the butt sometimes.
I bought a $60 microphone. Seems to be doing all right, I guess.
$60.
Oh, re-listen. Yeah.
Wow, that's pretty expensive. My one's just from IKEA. IKEA, bloody Amazon.
Here, I'll show you mine.
Does the job. Oh yeah, that's a good one. Is that Bluetooth as well, or you got it plugged in?
No, it's plugged in.
Yeah. See this one I don't even have to bother with levels. It's kind of there's no levels on that. So yeah, it's just obviously must be self-leveling or something. I don't know. But the only thing about it, you have to put it into the jack, the 3.5mm jack, and the USB at the same time. That's the only thing about it. So you have to use the first USB for it.
The power.
So, yeah. It does the job. Chilean said he had one for me, didn't he? But I haven't heard anything in a little while from him. Well, I mean, I've heard from him, but he hasn't said anything about it. That's all right. It's one of them. I'll get another one at some point if it comes to it.
I haven't heard from Flats. I wonder if he got his camera.
Yeah, I guess he would have. He said he was going to have a look at it, didn't he? Today, I think. I said he's got to go have a look at it. So, yeah, we'll find out tonight. And hopefully, I mean, he's talking to John tonight, isn't he?
I think he is, yeah.
Yeah, so we'll get to know about that. Get to know about the old, yeah, I can't wait. I knew about this for a while. I just wasn't allowed to say anything, you know what I mean? Obviously, I can't go into details. I don't know the full details, you know what I mean? But I'm not going to go into the details I do know because I'll let the people do it tonight, you know what I mean? I wasn't part of it, but I've known about it for a good few months. Probably about 4 months, something like that. It's all good, and I can't wait, man. Look, you hear it in a minute. Who's on it? I'm doing it this time. Let's have a look.
I know what it is. Hold on.
Let's see who's live at this time. Because there's hardly anybody here. Let's see.
I gotta get new headphones.
that I can see. There's nobody live I can see. Let me just check.
Hey, PJ, can you hear me now?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay, I got a headache. It's my headset. It keeps.
Oh,
for
right,
some
I
reason.
see.
Weird.
Right, depending on how this video goes, because I've just seen, like, I'm just going up my homepage. This guy, the guy who I'm showing today, the one that's saying about devil and God, he used to be a Christian about devil and God, is God actually the devil and all that? Well, he's just done another one. The Myths of Luciferianism Explained, Morgue Official. He's got a tick. I mean, he's got a tick next to his name, so I hope he doesn't come after me for this, but you know what I mean? But yeah, let's say, if this, depending on how this one goes, I've put that one in save later. So depending how that one might do one. Depending how this one goes, sorry, I might do that one. The truth about Luciferianism, Lucifer, because what he's going to say is he's the light bearer. He's the actual God. He's the one that wanted us to know the truth. I guarantee it. You know what I mean?
I got you.
That's what he'll be like. So yeah, we'll see. We'll see. Save to watch later. Done. So that's my save later. So 3 in. It's going to be one of them days again, like we had the other day. Just 4 in and that 3 in. Maybe people will start coming. We'll see. We'll see. We'll see. Let me just go put my. I'll just put a message in Element as well right now that I've started.
I don't know how many people I had in my stream earlier. So.
You had a few people in the chat though. I did notice.
Maybe like 6 or 7, I think.
It happens. It just depends. Some mornings I get a load on. Sometimes I just don't. It just depends who's on, what's happening, I suppose. What was this about to?
I'm taking a chance with some of the music I'm playing because it's not popular. It's just they do have record studios.
Yeah. I mean, you can't get away with some music sometimes. Hey, boy, good to see you, man. Good to see you, bro.
Boy, what a name.
Oh, come on, Element. Stop being the numpty. Sometimes I have to. I said 3 times, mate. 10 time look at me, 4th time look at me. It does this. Element's a piece of crap now. Never used to be. Come on. Thank you. So I've just put my link in Element so people know I'm live. Just in case. And if nobody comes, then we'll just watch it ourselves, guys. You know what I mean? Something like that. One of them. Right, I've done it in Element. Let me just put a link in my channel, in my room, in Element. PG Cook Sounds YouTube and live stream. There we go. And I think I've already just put a community post out as well. So there we go. Yeah, good to see you guys. How long have we been on? I'll give it another couple of minutes. I'll let it get to 10 minutes. It's on 8 minutes now. So let it get to 10 minutes, then we'll just start the bid. Like, I'll get it up ready anyway. Get it up ready.
Yeah.
Actually, let me just go to Mr. Super Sidewinder, see if he's got any newer music up there or anything that I haven't downloaded already. Let's have a quick look. No, for afterwards. Do. So what? But yeah, Flats should be really interesting tonight. So your next stream is 1:30. So for me it's 1:30 a.m. A few hours after Flats finishes tonight for me. It's 1:30 a.m. in the morning for me. The next time you're on the book. What's the book? What's that about?
Brian's going to bring a couple of books over about evolution and I think surveying for trains. So
Brian from Dose of Reality.
No, Cookie Monster.
Oh,
Brian.
I thought you said Brian. I didn't think you said. I thought you said Brian.
I'm losing my voice, man. It's talking too much. I was stuck in that stream by myself for like almost an hour.
This is Roger's stream for later on, guys. Okay, it'll be in the chat. So if that's Roger's stream. Right, Mr. Super Sidewind, I need to find a song quickly, and then I'll get on with the video. I'm just waiting to see if anybody else turns up. It's on. Just one of them. Just carry on ourselves, man. That happened once to one time where I had nobody at the start, and just as I was 3/4 of the way through, back to finish, there was about 15 people there.
Having open panels are kind of nerve-wracking after a while, aren't they?
Yeah. True. Ooh. Oh no, it's a live stream. I was thinking, well, he's done another video. No, it's got that one. Okay, let's have a quick.
Getting better with time, dude. Getting better with time.
I think I've pretty much done all of these videos. I'm doubling up now. Wonderful Tonight, Stay With Heaven. There's a couple I can't do because of the video. Hold on. Did you see Cosmic Dancer? Hold on.
Whoa, that's a little loud.
You hear that?
Yeah, I need to deaden the sound in my room because I got a bad echo. Too.
Yeah, but no, I'm just seeing
through everybody else.
If that's the same video. Cosmic Dancer. Yeah, all right, I'll download that one. Why not? Get a link. Quickly download it so it's all ready for later. Paste and download. Oh, I don't do your stupidness. Sometimes it play about these bloody downloaders. Thank you. And trust me, I just got rid of my YouTube numpty. Numpty.
Everybody's a numpty, sir.
And I got rid of my YouTube. Numpty. I was trying to get rid of another one. I got rid of YouTube. I need to get back into YouTube so I can use that. Come on, download for me. Yeah, thank you.
Dankeschön.
Dankeschön.
Nathan ain't been by in a while, has he?
No, I don't know if he's fell out of me or what. He hasn't nipped in for a little bit, and that's what I'm saying. That's what you said. I just said that. Oh no, it echoed back to my side. I was like, what the hell was going on there? I just said that. Hey Jeff, how you doing, man? Good to see you, bro. Good to see you, man.
And 2/4 of our show, it was echoing off of Cookie Monster's feed, and he couldn't hear it. It was just you could hear it faintly in the background throughout the show.
Oh my God,
didn't realize it.
That happened. It was a pain when I wasn't on the computer and I had the tablet and the phone. I used to use the phone for talking in Element while using tablet for speaker for being the YouTube side, and the phone for being in the Element panel with Flats and Michael and that. And I was so glad when I got a bloody laptop because it was a pain in the butt having to work with 2 devices to do it. You know what I mean? Right. So that is done. Right. Okay. It looks like we've got 5 in. Let's just get on with this video, dude. It's I'll get rid of the bottom part, the brand again, because I see somebody else come in. I know it was Jeff.
Is it Brenda?
No, Brenda tried to get in last night, didn't he? Again, I was like, come on, right at the end of the stream as well. Like, why did you even chance it? And do you know why? Probably because earlier on that night we was talking about Michelle Obama. Remember the old Willie Dangler and all that. So that's probably why Brenda tried to come in.
I think that's why they do those shows and expose these people so they can like shock the hell out of you.
Of course, and I guarantee they've tried to get this show. Because I mean, it wouldn't surprise me if I got that thing the other night because of someone like that. I mean, I don't understand why just watching a Hitler, because they say that content's not allowed. I'm like, I got it from YouTube. What do you mean it's not allowed on YouTube? It came from YouTube. Surely you know that. I was sharing it from YouTube. Surely you think they know that, and they're trying to tell me that it's not allowed. I'm like, why? It was about him allegedly having a son. You think you do be the atrocities he committed and all that? You know, I don't see the problem.
Well, there's people on both sides of that one, PJ.
Of course there is. I get that. But as I'm saying, I'm neither supporting nor. Do you know what I mean? or taken away. What could have happened? Oh, it wouldn't surprise me if it was vice. Yeah, it wouldn't surprise me if they'd done totally inverted both sides. You know, he's the female and she's the man.
It's always a bender gender, dude.
Gender benders for sure, guys. Gender benders. Yes, so this dude, never seen him before. He's an ex-Christian. He looks a bit gothy type, but he's obviously into Luciferianism. And like I say, he's just put out another one, which is about 50 minutes long. Depending how this one goes, because I've never done him before, we'll see how it is. But he's obviously someone that's rebelled against Christianity because he's an ex-Christian. And I think he's into Luciferianism. And now this is a big rant about the God actually being the devil. Early Christians actually thinking the Bible is from the devil rather than God. All that kind of things. Let's get into it. Let's get into the thing.
Positively.
Hachtua. Hachtua. Right.
Well, yeah, logical. He is definitely gay, dude. There's no doubt about it. I know people that used to hang out with him in the gay bars up in Chicago when he was running.
Welcome to the gay bar, gay bar, gay bar, gay bar.
It's the Blue Oyster, you know.
I can't. No, it's not the tune, but it's something like that, isn't it? It's one of them. Old leathers and old school, like Marlon Brando leathers. Right.
I don't think Marlon Brando was completely gay, though. He was pretty straight.
Heretic's Fork. It was a tool designed by...
Ooh, loud. This
is a
is
heretic fork. Look at it. Oh, yeah. That'll hold your chin up. Yeah.
Oh,
yeah. Now I'm going to go on mute for a minute.
By the Inquisition.
And then let me just get... Right, this is where it starts anyway. So... Obviously, it's cut off from the live stream.
To silence those who dared to speak out against the church. Now, this is a replica, but the real Heretic's Fork was sharp, and it would dig upwards into the chin and down into the chest.
So you couldn't speak at all. So you couldn't sing with your mouth. Wow, it's a dangerous tool, right? Dangerous tool. But I mean, yes, allegedly Christians did all these bad things way back in the past, but so is every religion. And as we know about history, did these things really happen? You know, we don't know.
So that the sinner was unable to speak. Back then, instead of getting shadow banned, you'd get one of these. But the question is, what blasphemous secrets?
Instead of getting shadow banned, you get one of them. Well, it's just as well YouTube don't give us diamonds there, isn't it? Mind you, it'd probably be a more straightforward way of banning this rather than going the sneaky way about shadow banning. What blasphemous secrets was the Inquisition trying to silence? See? What blasphemous secrets was the Inquisition trying to silence? It's taking it for granted that all that happened, and yes, we know the Inquisition, if it happened, whatever, you know, it wasn't good. Christians, you know what I mean? It's not the Christians of the day of Christ. You know what I mean? It's not, they weren't Christians like the apostles. They obviously went wayward by this point if this actually happened, you know. But that's not the point of it anyway. He goes on about the devil being God and all that. This is people that done these things, not God. Spanish Inquisition, if happened, it was people who did it in the name of God. But they did it for themselves, not for God. For their own power.
Yeah, this isn't what we consider the Christian church, though. They weren't going around prosecuting heretics. Man.
No, exactly. Exactly.
This is the Catholic Church.
It's the Catholic Church, but they just call it Christian Church. We're just lumped in with it, you know. We're just lumped in with it.
Was the Inquisition trying to silence? Well, see, in the dark halls of the Inquisition archives, hidden away for centuries, a mysterious book was discovered known as Interrogatio Johannes, or the Secret Supper. And this book belonged to a heretical group of Christians called the Cathars.
The Cathars, they came up the other night, didn't they? The Cathars, okay. Okay, so they're heretics. Okay.
I watched the thing on them once.
Well, if they're heretics, if the Cathars are heretics, then you wouldn't listen to him, would you? So, like I said, again, you're blaming like God for actually being the devil actually being God, whatever, or the devil being the good one, God being the bad one, whatever. when you're saying here, it's man that done it, not God. The Cathars, whatever. It's not God. Everybody puts them the atrocities man does and puts it on God. You let this happen. You know what I mean? You did this.
We watched the documentary on the Cathars once, didn't we?
We did, but I can't remember much about it. If it didn't really stick in my head, if I wasn't really into it or anything, it won't stick in my head very, very well.
There were a bunch of people who broke away and started their own fatherhood, and they were chased down to the villages where they went to by the Catholics, and then they were held on trial for being heretics.
Yeah, I get you. A bit like Protestants, but they haven't been held on trial. They just go to war with Jerry Adams and Sinn Féin.
I'm sure it was. I like the AI though. They did the hair on them. Look at their hair. The boy in the corner looks like Arwen over there. White.
True. Hey, John, good to see you, bro. Good to see you, man.
They believed it contained the true teachings of Jesus Christ that was kept hidden from the world. But what were those teachings, and why would the church that supposedly built on Christ's teachings hide this book? This is the satanic...
Supposedly built on Christ. Look, the Catholic Church was definitely not built on Christ. Might have been built on his name, using his name, not built on his name, using his name, but certainly wasn't built on Christ. Not the true Christ.
I think they used Christ like a campaign. What the church did, and they would go to towns and push Christ on everybody. Absolutely. They're all pagans, so
absolutely, bro.
Which I don't think Christ had anything to do with that kind of thing at all. Christ was here to set us free. So, yeah.
And why is it people that get brought up Christians or not brought up with Christian in the fact they tend to rebel like that? And I mean, fair enough, rebel a little bit, but why go the opposite way? Why go the complete opposite 180 way and go to the devil instead? It's pure rebellion, which is witchcraft. Rebellion.
I rebelled when I was growing up. Definitely, you can do probably. Yeah.
Oh, absolutely. But
I didn't go join a cult of Satan overnight or anything. Like, I want to sign up here.
No.
I did read like atheist style books and stuff and listen to their philosophies, but
No, I just waited till I was in my 40s and got into the cult of flat Earth. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, you're a robotomist, sir. You're a
robotomist. Yeah, I'm a robotomist.
Bible, written by Anton LaVey in 1969, and in it, LaVey writes that if the devil were a liar, then it would have been Satan, not God, who wrote the Holy Bible. And that's exactly what the Cathars...
Oh, if the devil were a liar, then it would be Satan, not God, who wrote the Bible.
What? Is that what he said? Huh?
Yeah, hold on. Yeah,
that's funny.
That if the devil were a liar...
If the devil were a liar, then it would have been Satan, not God, who wrote the Holy Bible. Why?
It's basically saying that the Bible's a lie, basically. What he's saying.
Of course. If the devil were basically. If the devil were a liar, then
I never heard that about LaVey. I never heard him say that.
Not God, who wrote the Holy Bible. But Satan's not holy, so it wouldn't have been called the Holy Bible if you wrote it, would it? But I suppose to him, then maybe to him there. Well, if Satan was holy, why is he dressing like that in unholy kind of black attire that is not acquainted with pureness? You know what I mean?
Well, the Catholics do equivocate that whole thing with the priests. They wear their black robes, their little white collars too, right?
It's same as in certain parts of Brazil and that, where they're Catholic and they mix it with witchcraft. They've got this thing called the Black Madonna. You know, the black...
I've heard of it.
Yeah, I don't know it's a mixture of Catholicism and superstition and kind of witchcrafty stuff, isn't it? I'm not sure.
You'd find it down in New Orleans, wouldn't you?
Well, you'd know more about that than me, but yeah, obviously, that kind of things go down there. A lot of voodoo ting going on down there, man.
Tings.
Things, man.
Luke is on this kick too. He's trying to prove the Bible's a lie. You notice he brought that little clip in. Yeah.
I know. We tell him to go read the Bible. What's he do? He comes back with clips trying to debunk it. And what did he do? He didn't go and check it. Oh, I checked the first one. No. Luke was here to do it. His voice is better.
Yuki, Mr.
Hi
Yuki.
guys. Can't do it. Hi guys. He does it. Oh madness! But
It is.
yes, he seems to be doing that. We tell him to go read the Bible, and now he's coming back with clips saying, "Oh, this might debunk that or whatever." And I've said it to him the other day when he came on the flags. I was like, "Did you go and check any of it? Did you go and read it after you seen this video?" No. I'm like, well, why didn't you go check it then to see if it actually said that? You're just taking a video that is give you the scripture with no context before or after. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I got you.
Just the scripture itself doesn't mean nothing. Well, it does mean something on its own, but to someone that doesn't know it, they're just going to take it at face value what it says rather than take it with the context. That's called eisegeting, not exegeting.
Yeah. It's the dogmatic doghouse, yeah.
So, the Baphomet transgender is why they love trannies. Yeah, exactly, dude. Exactly, dude.
Well,
Then it would have been-
and that,
That's above, so below. But does that mean if you've got a dick on your head, you've got a dick between your legs?
I'm guessing so.
Yeah. Well, if you can hear a big snoring and talking or sleep in the background, that's how. If you can hear it. A little bit. Probably. Anyway, let's get on with it.
Satan, not God, who wrote the Holy Bible. And that's exactly what the Cathars believed. For them, the actual satanic Bible is the Bible itself. Now that might sound crazy, but the Cathars were not the first Christians who believed that. This is the world's first Bible. And what if I told you that the man who created the world's first Bible would agree that the Bible that we have today is evil, twisted, and corrupted?
What? The man who created the first Bible would agree that the Bible was twisted and no.
By dark forces. And then there were the Gnostics, who were ancient Christian mystics that believed that the being that the church worshipped
Well, so Gnostics are not really Christians. Mysticism is not Christianity.
was actually the devil in disguise. The Gnostics formed secret societies where they taught hidden knowledge that the church tried to destroy. But
What hidden knowledge? God is not about hiding stuff. There's stuff that you're not meant to know. That's not hidden. Not hidden from you. It's just you're not meant to know it at all. It's not hidden. He's just not giving you it. It's not hidden. Simple as that.
what was that hidden knowledge? Today we're exploring the heretical beliefs of the Cathars, the truth about the world's first Bible, and the secrets of the Gnostics to uncover the Bible's shocking satanic origins. And we'll answer the question, is
The Bible's shocking satanic origins. It's weird because you're an ex-Christian. I mean, I don't know if you are a Satanist, but I would say you are, or into Luciferianism at least, if you don't think Satan's an entity. But then saying it's maybe he's a Luciferianist, but not a Satanist. Whatever.
No, I don't think the Bible tells a story of like the origins of Satan other than God himself.
Yeah.
He's a fallen angel. So
No,
if you follow that logic, it doesn't show you satanic roots. Like God's trying to hide everything from us because you shouldn't eat of the tree of the good of evil, and you learn things.
This is just like an ultimate bloody gaslight. You know what I mean?
Is God actually the devil? My name is Morg, and I'm an ex-Christian revealing hidden knowledge to create a new world. Remember to like.
Right, he's an ex-Christian, revealing knowledge to a new world. So he's probably Luciferianism,
What world is that?
Gnosticism, spiritualism, all that kind of crap. He's probably combined all because he definitely looks a little Luciferian,
Yeah, I'm pretty sure he's heard of flat Earth too. Most people in this realm have. Yeah.
All right. I mean, look at there. He's got crystally tight pyramids there. He's got the old seeing. So look, that's definitely a sun with sun rays made into an eye. Also pyramid. You know what I mean? And the Wi-Fi signal. And the top left. And the top left under the candles. That one. You can't see my pointer because it's a video file. Yeah, apart from that, just candles, really.
Everybody's deciding to text me right now for some reason. I downloaded WhatsApp again, and everybody's on here like, Who are you? What do you want? God.
Oh, pain in the butt.
I blame it on Vlad.
subscribe
He
to-
told me to download it.
Yeah.
Help spread this information, and check out my new book, Neogenesis: Dawn of the New Mind. The link is in the description of this video. Do you
Neogenesis, so new origin. That is what it's saying, new origins. How can you have new origins? Your origin is always your origin. You can't have a new origin.
You are who you are.
God, simple. New Genesis, Neogenesis. Come on, this is pure heresy. It's not even fallacious because he knows obviously what the Bible says, and he's not misunderstanding it. He's just turning it on its ass. Heretical.
know why the Inquisition was created? It was a powerful institution established by the Catholic Church in the 12th century.
Because they're evil bastards. Sorry, Lord, but they were.
The Catholics? Nah.
Designed to root out heresy, blasphemy, and witchcraft. And the Inquisition was known for using violence and torture to extract confessions from heretics, enforcing religious conformity through fear and brutality. Now, you probably knew that already, but did you know who their primary targets were? The Cathars. But why was the church so terrified of the Cathars? Imagine
It was all just false Christianities. It's another demonic trick. It's another trick from the devil. You know what I mean? It's alleged, so-called Christian people going after other so-called Christian people. So other people that are not Christians say, look at these Christians, they're a bunch of idiots. They go after each other. They go after the other people. They go after other religions and themselves. You know what I mean? They're a waste of time. That religion, that faith can't be any good. It's to cause confusion. You know what I mean? The devil does these things.
It's a vision.
Yeah, of course. I mean, they just weren't Christians in the first place. So you've got two lots of false Christians at each other. Well, one going after the other.
Hmm? Yes, sir.
Imagine this. It's the Middle Ages, and the church has a stranglehold on Europe. Heretics are burned at the stake, but in the shadows, there's a group.
Well, of course, we know the devil didn't write Genesis. The devil used scripture himself because he knows what God wrote, that man wrote it through God's inspiration. You know what I mean?
Yeah. It was written by Moses, not God, anyways. But.
Exactly.
Group whispering that the God we know might not be the true God. See, the Cathars believed that Satan had twisted the scriptures and that the God worshipped by the church was actually the devil. In their book, The Secret Supper, which was seized by the Inquisition, it describes how Satan manipulated humanity into believing that he was God. So the Cathar interpretation of the Bible is the total opposite of what we've been taught. It's kind of like how we have different political parties.
Yeah, he's definitely not. So yeah, so the God that we worship is actually the devil. You know what I mean? And he convinced us that he's God already. Come on, ridiculous. If that's the case, then why would there be a satanic Bible as well as a holy Bible? If it's just stupid. And this is what you get for rebellion. And you shaved his eyebrows as well.
Today, where each one says the other is evil. The Cathars were saying, hey, what if what the world has been told about the Bible is just propaganda by Satan? For them, the Bible was fake news. Now that might sound crazy, but think about it. Growing up as a Christian, I was always taught that the Bible was the ultimate truth, but as I got older, I started questioning why the supposedly holy word of God would contain so much violence. Doesn't that seem suspicious? In the Bible, God demands.
Because men are violent. You know what I mean? Men are violent, and God has a righteous anger, and things needed to be done, especially like with the flood and that. It wasn't about violence, it was about sorting out the bloody bloodline, about getting rid of some of the corruption. God's got a... And do you know something as well? It doesn't matter. God's God. You know what I mean? Even if it was something we thought it was really evil, because that's what we think or whatever, it doesn't matter. God's God. If he made you, he's the rules, and he's a loving God. So whatever he says is righteous. You know what I mean? Obviously, he doesn't do that. But I'm just saying, you can't argue with God. It's stupid. He loves you. He can love you, and he can equally love and hate you at the same time. You know what I mean? He loves the person, he hates the sin. You know what I mean? So, yes, the person who's sinning, he hates them, but he loves them because he wants them to be saved. God can do that. Hey, Gematria, good to see you. Good to see you, man.
Commanded blood sacrifices, commanded the death of innocent men, women, and children, unleashed plagues and floods to destroy humanity. I remember sitting in church and hearing these stories about blood sacrifices and thinking, well, isn't that exactly what the church calls satanic? It always felt wrong. Why would a loving God constantly demand sacrifice and worship? But what if that wasn't God at all? What if that was
Well, why do you think Jesus came? Well, not just because of that. Jesus came along then to spill his blood, so it didn't have to, things like that didn't have to be done. But it was a blood sacrifice because it was the purity of the lamb that cover. Only blood can cover sin. It's only like pure blood that can cover sin. Do you know what I mean? At that point, until the ultimate sacrifice of Jesus Christ, and his blood covered all sin.
Absolutely. I'm right here with you. No, you have to have atonement towards God himself, right? So
Yeah.
they needed to have something.
Aye, absolutely.
actually the devil? That makes a lot more sense. After all, does accepting animal and human sacrifice sound godly or satanic? The Bible is said to be inspired by God, but what if it was inspired by Satan to deceive humanity? According to the Cathars, this is exactly the case. Remember the war in heaven? The battle where Satan rebelled against God? Well, we've all heard this story. Satan rebelled against God and was cast out of heaven, but the Cathars had a completely different take. According to the Cathars, they believed that Satan, who's usually depicted as the rebel angel, was actually the God of the Bible, the very God who demanded.
Right, if that's the case, if Satan is actually God and God is actually Satan, then why would God, why would Satan, who is actually God, have let Satan kick him out of bloody heaven? God's more powerful than Satan, obviously, so he wouldn't allow that to happen. It makes no sense.
Well, it's
Satan
kind of like
was
having
created by, well, Lucifer was created by God. You know what I mean?
Uh,
So
think-
you can't say that.
so think about the servants in your house. If you had a big estate and they just try to overthrow it, would you kick them out?
I know. Mental. Hey, just JP, good to see you, man. Good to see you. I'm Vicky talking in my sleep.
Sacrifices, unquestioning obedience, and worship. In their eyes, this God was not the true God, but an evil impostor, the devil himself. They called him Rex Mundi, or King of the World. But wait a minute, if the God of the Bible is actually Satan, then who did he rebel against in heaven? Well, it's all revealed in the book that terrified the church and hidden away by the Inquisition, the Secret Supper. The Secret Supper is also known as the Questions of John, because in this book, John has a secret meal in heaven with Jesus who reveals hidden information. But what was it that Jesus revealed? Well, Jesus tells John that there is a higher God, the true God, the God of light who created everything spiritual, while Satan is a false god of darkness who created the material world and human beings. But hold on, how
What?
Yep.
What?
You heard it here first, folks.
So Satan, who's actually God, just wanted him and the angels, didn't want human beings. Human beings were created out of evil and hate and not out of love. Okay, that makes complete sense. Obviously makes complete sense. And to send his son and be sacrificed and all that, Jesus coming into it and all that stuff as well. Come on. How did they fall for this? Really, how?
did Satan create human beings? Well, he couldn't create anything spiritual. He could only make the material bodies. But the bodies needed a soul, otherwise they just lay there like lifeless dolls. So to give life to his creation, Satan trapped the souls of fallen angels in material bodies, which means, according to the Cathars,
we are fallen angels. So humans are fallen angels.
I lost my wings. Sorry.
Yeah, absolutely. That's my wings. I mean, I've got no power whatsoever. And these angels got some type of power. You know what I mean? Wow.
I know. It's
you and I,
Crazy, dude. I've never heard this before where we're meant to be the bloody fallen angels.
Never heard this before.
God, okay, let me put that up a second. I was just reading what just JP was saying. Don't know if anyone has already mentioned, PG, mate, but apparently the name God comes from the name Gad equals Gadriel, the sneaky angel that took the guise of Adam, Adam and rinsed Eve, the mucky hoop. Yeah, dude. No, I haven't heard that actually. I haven't heard that, but they say the same about Jesus. Apparently, means something pig, earth pig, or something like that. Even if it did, these names did mean that. It doesn't matter. It's the English language. You know what I mean? It's not just. Even if his name wasn't Jesus and his name was actually Dave, he knows who we're talking about when we say Jesus. You know, I don't think that matters. It's in your heart. You know, it's how we know him.
I want to read the Secret Supper now.
Yeah, the Secret Supper. I'm gonna have to check. Do you know? I'll do that. I'll see if there's any streams on the Secret Supper. Videos on the Secret Supper. I'll check that out later. I need something to remind me. Secret Supper. It's easy to remember. Secret Supper. Yeah.
And everyone are actually fallen angels. The Secret Supper says, Satan commanded the earth to bring forth all living things, animals, trees, and herbs, and he pondered on making man to serve him. He took clay of the earth and made man like unto himself, and he then bade an angel of the second heaven to enter the body of clay. Of this body he took a part and made another body in the form of a woman, and bade an angel of the first heaven to enter into it. And the angels grieved deeply that they thus had a mortal form imposed upon them, and that they now existed in different forms. As angelic souls trapped in physical bodies, the question is it possible to escape? Well, according to the Cathars, even death didn't release the soul from the prison of the material world because they believed in reincarnation and thought that...
Like the Hindus or the rest of us.
Of course they did. Of course they did. So
my grandpa is a grasshopper.
Yeah. I mean, right. So they went into Adam and Eve, and then they procreated. So when do the other angels go into do they go into the babies, or are they born with angels in them now? What? It really doesn't make sense. I'm gonna have to read it. I'm gonna have to have a look at the Secrets of
Angelic souls were trapped in a cycle of rebirth in the material world, a concept that was considered heretical by the Catholic Church.
She's doing all right. I went to hers yesterday, and we came back here. I'm sorry, I went to hers the day before yesterday, stayed the night, and then we came back here yesterday so I could do my 300 stream last night. She's behind me now. She's in the bed sleeping. She's got her arm up on her. She got the cast off, but she's got to go back next week to find out if she's to get another operation to replace the chip or to remove the chip part. But it's still sore. She can move a tiny little bit. She can use her hand, but she can't really move the arm much. But she's sore, but she's okay. She's okay. She's resting behind me now. She's got it up in there, and she keeps moving in her sleep, and I have to keep putting her arm back on the pillow, and I'm like, stop moving your arm. She scares me.
And they could only...
She's good, bro. Thanks for asking, man. I'll tell her you asked.
Only escape from this cycle by rejecting the material world and realizing their true divine origins. The Cathars practiced a ritual called the consolamentum, which was a form of spiritual baptism that they believed purified the soul, and this ritual was usually performed just before death, as it was believed to be the key to escaping.
True, Jeff. So why is there many Greek gods? Ha! Yeah, you know, exactly.
Can't make
it was on the back there was God, then a lesser God, and that's it. So yeah, what about the Greek gods? All this is put here for confusion, you know. I mean, especially this, the devil. I mean, the Secret Supper. The devil is portraying now that he's actually God, and the God in heaven is actually the devil. It's all what the devil would do. He's saying at the start, like, what if it was really the devil? And then the devil would have wrote the Bible, whatever he said. Like, he tried to confuse people into thinking that he was God and all that. No, maybe he would double bluff. You know what I mean? It's the kind of thing they do. You can't just think like that. It's just crazy to totally go around, take what the Bible says that so many people testify by, stand by because of the Holy Spirit, and say that these things are of the devil. And the devil wrote it. Inspired it or whatever craziness.
The one thing I
material
don't
world
get
and returning to the realm.
One thing what
I don't get is are they equivocating Anton LaVey with the Cathars?
Yeah, no. What was it? Yeah, what was the on the base? He got the book of the Satan. Oh, what the Satan is? What does he call it? The
Satan's
Satanic
Bible.
Bible.
Yeah.
Satanic Bible. Blimmin' hell! Couldn't get it out then. Yeah, I know he did say something like that. He's obviously Anton LaVey didn't believe that Satan was an entity. He believed it was like an ideology, you know. But I don't. He said that, but surely, well, mind you, his daughter did say by the end of it, it was all about him. That's why she came out of it. But she went into what, Buddha or something like that, Buddhism or something like that. So just out of the frying pan into the fire, sort of thing, out of the fire and into the fire. You know, from one cult to another cult.
So why did Anton put on the act of being a Satanist if he didn't think he was real?
You know,
That's what I'm saying.
exactly.
Maybe there's something to it.
Mm-hmm. Just JPL tell a nice one, dude. Think he's a Game of Thrones. Yeah, he does like something out of Game of Thrones. He looks like something out of a computer game, definitely. He looks like an elf kind of like Legolas, a little bit like Legolas, just not as good looking as Orlando Bloom, obviously. In Lord of the Rings and The Hobbit, I suppose he's in The Hobbit as well. Yeah, he does.
The question I want to ask is, what's going on with his chest? You see these red marks he's got on his chest right there?
Is that not when he tried to put the? That's what I thought. Is that not when he put the fork things under his chin? Maybe it's kind of marked.
If you look at it, he's done it before. He's like stretched his neck out with it.
Yeah, maybe. Mm-hmm. Well, yeah, they're into some freaky stuff, isn't they?
Oh yeah.
Or he thinks he's not so tall white.
Of the true God. Now, unlike the Catholic Church, the Cathars allowed women to serve as spiritual leaders. Women, called prefectae, could administer the consolamentum and were highly respected within Cathar communities. But now that Satan had trapped fallen angels in the form of human beings, he needed a way to convince them to worship him, to trick them into believing he was God.
Oh, wait a minute. I mean, that image.
That was life. Yeah. The Pope.
Yeah, come on, get on it. It's going past that. There it is. That image is probably about right. Definitely. I mean, look how he looks, and that's probably what they're like. I mean, when I see the Pope with what he wears and all that, it does look evil. Hey, babe. You okay? Just JP was asking for you. He just said a minute ago. Thanks for the. She said, "Hi, just JP." He said, "How's Vicky doing, bud? How's the arm?" And I told him, and he says, "Thanks for the update, babe." He says, "Much love, Vicky. Heal well."
Do you know, Brian?
What?
When it was in a cast, it was itching all the time. Now it's not in a cast, it hurts.
Well, it was happening before, wasn't it?
No, not like it is out of the cast.
See, look, that's what. Whinge, you know what I mean? It starts itching, stops it, she whinges. It stops itching, she whinges about the pain. You know what I mean? You'd think she's got a broken arm or something. You know what I mean? She knows I'm on a lesson.
God, but how? The Secret Supper reveals that Satan began to have books written to deceive humanity. In the Bible, Enoch is a holy man who's taken.
Okay, right. Satan had all these books. Satan, as in God, had all these books written to confuse and deceive humanity. I mean, where are you getting this information from? Where? Is this just speculation? Is this divine knowledge you got from somewhere? Or is this actually empirical evidence of it? You know? Or is it just all speculation? And using what the anti-Holy Spirit to guide you. Wow. Right, what's he saying about that?
Into heaven without dying, but in the Secret Supper, Enoch is revealed to actually be a servant of Satan. The devil takes him.
Oh, of course he is. You know what I mean? A man that actually God seen fit to not let him die and take him to heaven. That's how.
Well, he's worshiping
goes in a way. You know what I mean? He didn't have to die. God took him. God took him. Like, yeah, you don't have to. You can chill with me now. Yeah, he's actually an agent of Satan. You know, wow, an
Well,
agent.
according to these people, Satan is God, right?
Oh, of course. Wow.
Up into the clouds and commands him to write books to fulfill his plan to brainwash humanity into believing that he's God. The Secret Supper says, Satan then commanded that Enoch be given quill and ink. Seating himself, Enoch wrote 76 books. These the devil bade him to take to the earth. What were these books about? They taught about blood sacrifices. Now remember, the Old Testament of the Bible is filled with blood sacrifices. Why would a loving God be so obsessed with sacrifice? That's crazy. Think about the story of Cain and Abel, where God rejects Cain's offering of vegetables and instead favors Abel's offering of a lamb. Not to mention the countless animal sacrifices in Leviticus, where
Wow. They just don't get the context of that at all. It was the
I
heart
never heard
behind
of
it. It was the heart behind it. You know what I mean? It's nothing to do with what you are. It's the heart bloody behind it. You know what I mean? It's just ridiculous for them to be saying this.
My question is, where did he find these 76 books of Enoch? I've never heard of them. And
Yeah, I know,
secondly,
there's 66 books of Enoch. I mean, there's Enoch, and then you've got some fake books of Enoch. I mean, you've got Enoch never wrote all the canonized Bible. You know what I mean? We know pretty much who wrote them. There was about 40 guys. There's a few books we don't know for sure who wrote. Hebrews we don't know for sure. And I think there's another one somewhere. There is some. I mean, I believe that Moses wrote the first 5 books. There's a lot of people thinks that Moses didn't. I believe he did. Absolutely.
who's critical thinker?
Oh, I don't know. Critical thinker. Good to see you. Good to see you. 1 times question mark E equals MC squared. Yeah.
Well,
Okay.
he's talking about the equivalency principle.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. I don't know what it's got to do with this, but there we go. Good to see you, man. Good to see you. Okay.
Still.
True thoughts. Okay. New channel. You're a new channel. Okay. Critical thinker. We'll see. Good to see you anyway.
specific instructions are given for sacrificing bulls and goats and lambs to atone for sins and seek favor from God. Leviticus 1:5 and 1:13 says, "You are to slaughter the young bull before the Lord. The priest shall bring the blood and splash it against the sides of the altar. Burn them on the altar. It is a burnt offering, a food offering, an aroma pleasing to the Lord." I'm sorry, what? When I was a Christian, I remember reading verses like this and wondering how a loving God could possibly demand sacrifices. And if that's not enough for you, there's the story of Jephthah, where he
It doesn't. It doesn't. Come on. Ridiculous how he's doing it. The context, they don't read the context of nothing, do they? They just take it all out of bloody whack and make it sound vile. Like just because being gay is an abomination biblically, they have to say that God's homophobic. What? What, God's scared of gay people, you think?
He's also a vegetarian too, PJ.
Of course.
he ends up sacrificing his own virgin daughter as a burnt offering. I mean, come on. You can't get more satanic than that.
What? Whose daughter?
It's in Enoch, I think, is what he's talking about. I have no
I
idea.
thought it was about God's daughter then. I went, what?
I gotta read this book he's talking about. It's probably in the Cathar's book. What was the
A
name of
burnt
it again?
virgin sacrifice. Hello? Really think about that. Why is this considered acceptable? Well, it wasn't for the Cathars. They saw this as totally evil and believed that the idea of sacrifice, whether animals or humans, was a deception by Satan. They believed that true salvation wasn't about performing these satanic rituals. It was about
God didn't want humans sacrificed at all. He didn't tell people he didn't tell them to sacrifice human blood. It was animal blood, which they are lower than us, were made for us. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
It doesn't.
but he did.
Yeah, go on.
He did tell him to rid the land of a certain people.
He did what?
Well, like the Palestinians or any of the other Canaanites, he wanted them out dead.
I want them dead. Yeah, they were evil, of course. But he didn't say to sacrifice them, no, for their blood. As in, yeah, want them dead. But he didn't want them sacrificed to him for and cooked for a pleasing aroma to him. You know.
Mm-hmm.
Understanding and realizing one's own divine nature. Remember the 10 Commandments that God supposedly gave to Moses? The Cathars believed that
They believed. You don't say why they believed. You don't say if they got any proof of it or where they got their evidence from or why completely believe it all. You're just saying they believed. So they believed and told you, so you, well, not told you, got passed on down the line, you got told, and you believe now. You've got no proof of it.
Yeah. But they'll say the same
devil
thing
tricked-
about you, DJ.
Of
You know.
course. It's just, oh, wow. It's so much. Oh, it's right. I can't wait till Jesus comes back so everybody can see, so they can see, you know what I mean? Look, come on. How wrong were you guys? How wrong were you? Every tongue will confess and every knee will bow. Every knee will bow. You'll have to. You'll have to. You won't be able to handle his
Even kings and
glory.
queens too, right?
Mm.
Kings, queens, all the royals, everybody.
Right, exactly. Pooch wants out. Guess I'm going for a one I'll be listening. Cool. I'll have to take the Pooch out after this. She went out last night, so it should be good. I'll take her out. I'll have to take her out after this when I'm done. Got back. Yeah.
You should make Vicky do it, dude.
Oh yeah, of course.
Roger.
She won't be going anywhere while she's here. I don't think. Well,
I got you.
Do you
I get that reaction though.
She's really too careful, man.
Yeah. No.
Well, you should have been careful not done it.
I didn't mean to trip, did I?
Well, I don't know. You might.
I really meant to trip.
You maybe wanted
Just
some.
look at it.
You maybe want.
my elbow.
You maybe just wanted to come here to just annoy me or
Yeah, but I
something.
couldn't have just been all to any other way, could I?
WhatsApp just text you every 5 minutes. Yeah.
Are you in chat, babe?
No.
Let's go and say hello to people in chat. You don't have to stay because you're here anyway. No, I'm only joking. They can hear you.
You hear you just behind
Moses
Vicky.
and created them as a deception. The Secret Supper says, "And the devil revealed to Moses his divinity and bade him give laws to the children of Israel and lead them." But the devil's plan didn't stop at filling scriptures with deception and violence. He had to convince the world that he was God. How did he do this? By systematically brainwashing humanity. Let me explain. According to the Secret Supper, Jesus tells John that the devil deceived the world by declaring that he was the only God. The Secret Supper says, "And he, the devil, said to them, 'See you that I am God, and there is no other God beside me.'" This is crucial because in the Old Testament,
Jesus told this to John in the supper. This is probably going off Da Vinci's painting because he's leaning over towards Jesus. You know what I mean? It's whispering here, probably going off a bloody painting. You know what I mean? The same as they go off a painting for the chalice and all that, and all these bloody secret symbols and all, because of a painting and some people's surmising about being married to Mary Magdalene and the blood and they moved to France and all that kind of rubbish. You know,
You're talking about the Da Vinci Code?
Yeah, that's the kind of thing that happens. And yeah, then he ends up with a great grandniece who can heal drug addicts with just touching them. Oh, wow.
God says this all the time. In the Bible, specifically Isaiah chapter 45, he says it over and over. Here, let me show you. Verse 5, "I am the Lord and there is no other. Apart from me, there is no God." Verse 6, "I am the Lord and there is no other." Verse 14, "Surely God is with you and there is no other. There is no other God." Verse 18, "I am the Lord and there is no other." Verse 21, "And there is no God apart from me."
Written by man, inspired by God. Is it? You know what I mean? I know. Is he on about the commandments now?
I don't think so. I think he's going on.
Oh no, he's on
that
about
God
Isaiah.
is-
He's on about so yeah. So it's not even that Moses' commandments. It's Isaiah, isn't it? I mean, it's still written by man, inspired by God. I mean, the tablets are different, I suppose. I don't know if like they were if Moses chiseled them out or God burnt them with his finger. But either I would say that it's still inspired by God, written by man.
Mhm.
You know, it's written
So
in
basically,
words.
what he's trying to say
Yeah.
is that God
He's
is
God.
evil. He's showing you that
Yeah.
by saying these things, he's saying that he's the only one, that there's other gods other than God. He's lying about it.
Mm-hmm. I know. It's just ridiculous.
Me, a righteous God and a Savior. There is none but me. Verse 22, for I am God and there is no other. You get the idea. And that's just one chapter. So you get the picture. When I first read verses like this, I wondered,
Making him out to be a narcissist. Look, this is human thinking. This is not supernatural thinking. You know what I mean? It's just human thinking. How we are what's the word? Influenced into saying things in your life. Do you know what I mean? Into certain attitudes and that, thinking like this kind of thing is really bad, or even when something's really bad in morality, and they're like, that's cool. There's nothing wrong with that. These are the kind of things that are being influenced into our life, probably sometimes imposed. You know,
They absolutely sound atheists to a point, don't they?
Yes, absolutely. These have definitely got a grudge against God. And see, they look at all the bits. They take all the parts, cherry pick that sound like God's violent, homophobic, evil. They use all of that. They forget about the love of Christ and stuff like that. They forget about the forgiveness, love, you know what I mean? Guidance, discipline, teaching. They forget about everything about fruit, patience, faithfulness, loyalty, kindness, gentleness. You know what I mean? They forget about all that and just take the cherry pick the bits that sound really bad because they're sacrificing that. Not once did God say, chop off his head and burn his body and I'll smell him. You know what I mean?
I know.
Wow.
He's bringing
Like some Levitical laws were still written by man.
True.
Still written by man. Just
a lot of it right now.
Because God had given the Levites, I suppose. Hold on, yeah, the Levites. It was only the Levites that were allowed to be priests and stuff, wasn't it? Was it Levites?
Yeah, the Levites.
Yeah, it was Levites. It was only that tribe that was allowed to be priests and that thing. I need to go back to the Old Testament again. I keep saying it. I need to go back to it.
why an all-powerful God would say this over and over again. It almost felt like overcompensating, like maybe he's trying to hide something.
Hi, Jeff. Vicky's winning the get out of washing up game. Absolutely. She does still try though. She did it. She was washing up at house yesterday morning before we left. Afternoon before we left. And I'm like, "What are you doing?" You know, I had to wash her, sponge her top down because she spilled coffee on it.
Yeah.
And the taxi was coming, so I had to just dab it down and quickly and try and rinse her out over the sink. You're a weirdo. You're the one who broke your elbow.
I know.
Yeah, don't do it again.
I didn't plan on doing it the first time.
Okay, good.
So according to the Cathars, the devil was the world's first catfish. But the question is, how does Jesus fit into all this? Isn't he supposed to be the son of God? Well, the Cathars believe that Jesus was the son of the true God of light, not the satanic God of the Bible. They believe that Jesus came...
Oh, so right, I see. So God in the Old Testament is an evil bar steward, but Jesus is okay. He's cool. He's chill because he did all the Sermon on the Mount and said some nice things and all that stuff. So Jesus is chill, and devil is actually his dad, but the devil being the real God sort of thing. So Old Testament God, evil. New Testament God, all good.
I got
The Jesus
makes tons of sense. Yeah.
Wow. What a total intersection of deceit and fallacy and heresy, not fallacy.
to expose the devil's...
Not fallacy, because there's a lot of it misunderstood, but then a lot of it just bullshitting about,
lies and to bring
You gotta
humanity
disprove it to be a
knowledge about our
fallacy.
true spirit.
Sorry, Rog.
You got to be able to disprove it to be a fallacy. I mean, to make it
Exactly.
a fallacy.
Well, yeah, absolutely. And fallacy is like it's more misunderstood than a straight out lie. You know what I mean? It's more like the idea, like a doctrine. If someone's got a doctrine, someone's got the same doctrine, but they do it different ways. Oh well, we've got the same doctrine. Why do you do it different way? Because it's fallacy. You're fallacious. You're doing it that way because you're misunderstanding what it's saying. You know what I mean? That type of thing.
Wouldn't doctrine create fallacy though?
I mean, it doesn't have. Yeah. I mean, not all fallacies are scriptural. I mean, you can have other things that's fallacious, except fallacious. Fallacious, except scripture. Yeah, man. What was I about to look for? I can't remember. I was about to do something on there.
Spiritual nature. In the Secret Supper, Jesus says, "My Father sent me to this world to make manifest his name to men, that they might recognize the devil and his wickedness." As you can
Take that back. My Father sent me to this world to make manifest his name to men, that they might recognize the devil and his wickedness. That makes no sense at all. Where did he say these things? Why would, if it's all cool in the New Testament, why wouldn't it be recorded in the New Testament what Jesus said then? If he said this,
I've never heard this verse before. Have you?
no.
Maybe he's reading a different version, like a different translation. Has he got a reference for his stuff? You know, where did he get it from?
Where did he say this come from? Hold on. Is this not from what the Cathars are saying?
the true God of light, not the satanic God of the Bible. They believe that Jesus came to expose the devil's lies and to bring humanity knowledge about our true spiritual nature. In the Secret Supper, Jesus says, "My Father sent me to this..."
It's in the Secret Supper. That said, it's not biblical.
Yeah, not the Bible.
Yeah, it's not scriptural. No, right, say like, my Father sent me to this world to make manifest his name to men, that they might recognize the devil and his wickedness. He did kind of do that, but not to make his name manifest to men. Look, no, that's not why he was sent, to make his name manifest to men at all. But that he might recognize the devil and his wickedness. Yes, but not in the way you are saying. But that's not why he was sent. It's pure. Now that's pure heretical. But that's, like I say, it's not scriptural. It's this supper thing, the bloody Secret Supper.
They're throwing the Old Testament out. Dude,
Yeah.
they are.
Of course they are. And then they're kind of saying, Old Testament, God, one God. You know what I mean? New Testament, Jesus, God, sound. But at the same time, still messing up the New Testament as well. It's, oh, wow.
It's the Old Testament prophets I think they're trying to get rid of because he fulfilled all their prophecies.
Exactly. They can't, that's what I'm saying. They can't get out of that. The prophecies that have been fulfilled and stuff from the Old Testament. Do you know what I mean? How come he doesn't hit any of that? He just cherry picks the Old Testament bits that suit what the Secret Supper says. Or
Well,
along with it.
yeah.
It doesn't pick out the bits where prophecy or anything like that, and prophecy revealed, prophecy fulfilled. You know what I mean? That's it.
The Old Testament God wanted to kill everybody, dude.
Yeah, of course.
world to make manifest his name to men,
Good to see you, Luke, by the way. Good to see you, bro.
that they might recognize the devil and his wickedness. As you can imagine, Satan wasn't very happy about this, and this is where the crucifixion comes in. The Cathars believed that Satan saw Jesus as a huge threat and he could expose his lies, so he hatched a plan to have him crucified. The Secret Supper says, "When Satan learned that I had come down to this world, he sent his angel to take 3 pieces of wood. These he gave to the prophet Moses for my crucifixion. This wood they have kept for me until the present." So the Cathars actually...
What? So Moses kept 3 pieces of wood until Jesus got sacrificed, and it was God, actually the devil, that... What? What? Where is this information coming from?
That storyline don't match, dude. How
I
long
want,
does
I
wood
want, I want to
last?
see this. I want to see this secret supper. I'm gonna have to look for some stuff on it. Secret supper and find out where it come from. It's just ridiculous.
I think Arlen would like
Completely
this guy, dude.
Guaranteed. Guaranteed.
rejected the cross as a holy symbol. They saw it as an instrument of torture and part of the satanic plot to destroy Jesus. But
Well, it is a device to torture. It's exactly what it is. When we say thank you for the cross, I'm not saying thank you that he got crucified on a cross. It's thank you for what he did on that cross. That's what it is.
So that cross was made out of gopher wood?
Well, I mean, come on, you're not meant to have any engraven images. I mean, why do you think we don't like crucifixes? Or, I mean, now and again, I wear a cross. I haven't worn a cross in ages. Like I've got a cross on the wall, but it's just a painting thing. You know what I mean? No crucifixes or anything like that. I mean, but you're not even really meant to have that. You know? So, yes, the cross is a thing of crucifixion and evil. You know? And God was, Jesus was put on it for the shame of the world and the sin of the world. Of course, it was a bloody evil thing to be on. And that's why he conquered death by dying on that cross and then coming back to life 3 days later. He conquered that crap.
Yeah.
Yes, it was evil.
And the cross is the Catholic thing, anyways. That's what they
The
want.
crucifix, yeah, exactly. Especially they've got Jesus still on it. Jesus is still on it. Why? Why? He came off that cross.
Well, I think it's the Messianic or not the non-Messianic Jews that are waiting to put Christ on the cross.
Exactly.
think about it. Wearing a cross around your neck would be like wearing a miniature electric chair. The cross is a symbol of execution. Some Cathars even destroyed the cross. The Cathar, Pierre Authier, said,
I don't think that's, to be honest, that part of it, I don't think it's a bad thing. I don't think destroying the cross, I don't think it's a bad thing at all. But going mental and all that stuff, then yeah. Obviously, the Cathars were bloody heretics as well. And the Gnostics, all that kind of stuff.
I just want to really know where heretic comes from. What I know what it means, but I mean, where did the word come from?
Yeah, heresy.
Yeah, but we'll break the word down.
King Herod, because he was mental and lied a lot. Heresy.
Okay.
I'm not sure, dude. I'm not sure.
Me either. I don't look that up.
as a man should with an axe break the gallows on which his father was hanged, so you ought to try and break crucifixes because Christ was suspended from it. Well, guess what happened to Pierre? He was arrested by an inquisitor and burned at the stake for heresy. So if the Cathars reveal
the devil is sitting up in heaven acting as God, while what God is, I mean, the devil, oh wow. So God is actually where? And roaming around the earth.
He's in space.
Got overthrown by the devil when God created the devil. How does that work, dude?
It doesn't.
How does that work? God can't be overthrown. He's God. He's almighty. The Almighty. You don't get any better than the Almighty. You know?
Well, I think they're like putting like Christ in God's place. Like he was a messenger from their God. The true light God, the one who made the universe, him.
Oh, but Luke just said something about Bill Hicks. It's also a Bill Hicks bit, something in there. But see, I never did finish that Bill Hicks one, did I?
No, you did.
I know it was kind of slow, but I like what he says sometimes. We'll have to go through. We'll have to go through the rest of it. He's on a Witsit thing at the minute, isn't he? A Witsit debate's been on for a little while. This bloke's conflating Catholics with Christians again. Exactly, dude. He's doing it with it. He's doing exactly. He said it about the Inquisition. You know what I mean, and all that kind of stuff. I'm saying if the Inquisition happened, yes, we are umbrellaed under that term, Christians, with them. You know what I mean? But they're not Christians. They're not Christians at all. They've just got that term because they're allegedly follow Christ.
Dear Jesus, why his teachings in the Bible if it's the work of Satan? Well, the Bible is divided into two parts, the New Testament and the Old Testament. And have you ever noticed how different they are? They're almost total opposites. The Old Testament is filled with stories of violence and wrath and strict laws and bloody sacrifices, where God's demanding obedience.
The New Testament is we're saved through grace. You know what I mean? Through grace. But remember, the Old Testament's full of when the earth began, when obviously conflict started, laws, judges, kings came into things. It's a progression of things and an adaptation of things. You know what I mean? It's a progression. Things do change throughout time, but yet nothing's new under the sun.
Well, if you look at the books, they fulfill each other. Actually,
Of course
one's
they
a
do.
stop to it all. Yeah.
They go hand in hand, but they were different times. You know?
Yeah. Uh-huh.
God didn't really reveal himself as much in the New Testament as he did in the Old. I mean, obviously through Jesus he did, but he didn't come down alongside and walk alongside Jesus saying, yo, that's my son and all that. You know what I mean? That kind of thing. Like he spoke to Moses and all that, you know? Or spoke to Adam and Eve in the garden.
Yeah. Yeah, I got a question. It would be really kind of cool if Jesus wore an armband and said, what would God do?
What would the Father do? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
And punishing people and waging wars and demanding worship. And this, the Cathars believed, was the work of Satan, the false god who wanted to control and deceive humanity. But the New Testament is completely different. It's about love and forgiveness. And Jesus preached about light, the true path to salvation, and that the kingdom of heaven is found within each of us. The Cathars believed that while parts of the New Testament had also been twisted by the influence of the false god, Satan, some of it still contained the true teachings of Jesus, the Son of the higher God of light, who came to reveal.
There's no love in the Old Testament at all. That's just stupid. You know what I mean? It's stupid to say there's no love in the Old Testament. I mean, didn't God give Adam a wife because he said it's not good for man to be alone on the earth? Is that not through love? Why else would if he was that bad, then he would just say, you can chill with the animals, man, you don't need a woman.
Well, I think this kid doesn't know what love really is, to be honest with you.
Obviously not.
Uh-huh.
The path to enlightenment and liberation from the material world. So the Cathars believed that the material world was
No such thing as liberation like that. You're either a slave to sin or a slave to Christ. That's it. Slave to sin or slave to Christ. Simple. You're a slave to something.
inherently evil because it was created by Satan, who twisted the scriptures to deceive humanity into believing that he was God. The Cathars believed that we're all fallen angels and saw human bodies as prisons.
We're all fallen angels inside of bodies. So, right. So, okay, Adam and Eve got these two fallen angels. So when they procreated and made Cain and Abel, when did were they born with these angels inside of them, or as soon as they popped out, they were just, because he said when they were just lifeless bodies until the angels came in, didn't he? He said that. So what? The baby popped out lifeless, and then the angels come in.
No, it entered through the semen when the spark hit. Then the demon came in.
It's weird, man. It's weird.
For the soul, which was originally divine and pure. So the goal of life, according to the Cathars, was to escape the material world and return to the spiritual realm of the true God, and they saw Jesus as a messenger from the true God, helping humanity to remember their divine origins. Now, here's the important part. These beliefs might seem radical, and they were, but what if I told you that the Cathars weren't the only ones who believed this? That this knowledge is actually ancient. In 1945, buried near the tombs of Egypt, a collection of ancient heretical books was found. These books, now known as the Nag Hammadi Library, were likely buried to hide them from the church, who tried to eradicate them completely. So what were these books? These books belonged to a heretical group of early Christians that existed long before the Cathars, known as Gnostics. Now, growing up,
I would say the Gnostics, right?
Yeah, that's where it was going, you know.
They're not Christians of the Gnostic, man. Christians into mysticism. These are just offshoots of Christianity that took it their own bloody way. And wasn't Paul always telling you to watch about division in church, separation, people teaching the wrong doctrine, bringing their old life into Christianity or Hebrew into Christianity? Do you know what I mean?
When PJ, you know what the Gnostics have to think, right?
Yeah, Romanism and all that into it. It's just beyond the joke.
Well, the Gnostics think that God wrote the Bible and told the story of Christ to let you know you are Christ and God made you. You're a little Christ. Yeah. and all, yeah, that's what they think.
Of course. Wow.
I remember hearing about agnostics who were
A lot more what?
They had a lot more to it than that. They had the rest of the hermetics to it to go with it. That was handed down from the angels that they're talking about here with the Cathars.
Aye. Hey Daniel, how you doing, man? Good to see you, bro. Good to see you.
people who don't know if God exists or not, but the Gnostics were completely different. Gnostic comes from the Greek word gnosis, which means knowledge. So the Gnostics were the ones who know. But what did they know? The Gnostics emerged around 1,000 years before the Cathars, specifically during the 1st and 2nd centuries CE, and they set the stage.
Hold on quickly, I'll just show you quickly the one I've just saved that I might do in a few days or whatever. The myths of Luciferianism explained. It's right next to your one, actually, Roger. It's right next to your stream for later.
Okay, that's fine.
On my page, I'll show you.
This ain't a competition, sir.
There you go. Look. See it there? Like that's it there, and then you're right next to him. Right, so there we go. So this one,
He's flying right into it.
Yeah, this was last night. So the myths of Luciferianism. Let's have a quick listen to see what he says quickly. Yeah. Okay.
Ex-Christian hidden knowledge. Yeah. Welcome, my friends, to Dawn of the New Earth. My name is Morg. I'm an ex-Christian revealing hidden knowledge to the Hebrew Bible. Okay, so there's a couple things that I want to say about this. Catherine's absolutely right. Luciferianism is not like a structured, defined religion, which is why you can't really go out there and the flesh, the earthly, the carnal, dominance, power, anger, aggression, complete opposite archetypes. So, again, to be clear, most Luciferians see Lucifer as either a completely different archetype or, such as like Madame Blavatsky in Theosophy, sees Satan as being the dark side of Lucifer, or Lucifer's like dark aspect.
What?
So
yeah, okay. See, try to make them two separate things or part of two separate. Try to make them a bit like a trinity. You know?
Yeah, our Father who art in hell. Yeah.
Yes, exactly. So that I won't do that one like straight away. Obviously, I'll do it a bit some of the time. But yeah.
This is a good little series you're doing here. It's not bad. You made a good little show, but he's still crazy as hell.
Oh, of course he is. Yeah, I mean, I wasn't intending to make the series out of him. It's just when last night I actually seen him come on live. So that was a live stream he was doing, but he obviously doesn't do it for long. It was only 50 minutes long. So yeah, I'll do it someday. I'm not in a rush to do it. We've already done this one. There's a few others I want to get done as well. Still got to finish that bloody thing off as well. That one I was doing with you. I'll have to do it because I hate unfinished things. I mean, I'll have to finish that one off. The Bill Hicks one.
My chuck.
Or the Cathars' radical beliefs. They claim to know the secret teachings of Jesus and formed secret societies where they taught his hidden knowledge. But what were those secrets? The Gnostics had many secret books, and one of them...
He is deluded, Daniel. Without a doubt, dude. He's an ex-Christian who's obviously into Luciferianism now. Talking about the secret supper, the Gnostics and the Cathars, and the devil is actually in heaven posing as God at the minute. He chucked God out. The devil chucked God out. You know, don't know how that happened since God created Lucifer. So, yeah, how he overthrew God, I do not know. I mean, didn't some Babylonians not try that? The Tower of Babel tried to go up there and beateth him, slay him. Didn't work, did it?
They wanted to be gods.
Absolutely.
Was similar to the Cathar's Secret Supper, and it was known as the Secret Book of John, where you guessed it, Jesus reveals secret teachings to John. Jesus reveals that there exists a hierarchy of divine beings known as eons, who are emanations from the true God of light, and that were
eons. So the true God of light, is this where we get the word eons from? Them? Come on. Wow, eons. Come on. And wow, where do these come from? It's not scriptural. So it's only in this Last Supper book again. Again, where's all this information come from? Is it just from the painting that you think that Jesus gave this secret knowledge to John? Where are you getting this information?
I have no idea. Yeah, I think they're compiling a lot of it out of those found books and stuff, and scholars put this together, and then they made this Gnostic cult.
Yeah, cherry picking and surmising, making a philosophy, and wow.
But they said they can't keep them down as a religion either, because Luciferianism could be anything.
Of course, it's an ideology, But then, if they've got to believe there's an entity. They've got to. Well, he the way he's talking about it, he can't think of it as just an ideology, because an ideology doesn't overthrow God.
Well, they're saying they don't know. They're not really sure what God is, from what I can tell.
Well, obviously, I know, and I know you'll be judged, same as I'll be judged. But, dude, you need to repent, man.
Pieces of this god, but there are also beings of darkness known as archons, or rulers, who trapped us in the material world. The first and most powerful archon was called the Demiurge, which means creator.
The Demiurge. I've heard all these things before, man. They put all this crap in movies and stuff. So, eons in what was it? Acons. What was it? Eons and what?
Eons. Demiurge and
Acons. Hold on, what was it again? Eons and bloody what?
Known as archons, or rulers, who trapped us in the material world. The first and most powerful
eons and archons. It sounds like a Scientology thing, but instead of Scientology, more like fantasology. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but if you look at it real close, it looks like Catholicism, dude. It really does. These are like Catholic myths that they respawn.
Yeah, it could be. It could be.
Archon was called the Demiurge, which means creator. See, the Gnostics believed that the material world was the creation of this evil satanic being who was none other than the God of the Old Testament.
Creator, right? He's the creator, but he's the Demiurge. Isn't demi like half of something? Like a demigod is half god, half man, isn't it? Sort of thing. Or yes, like
hybrid.
Hybrid. Yeah. So a demiurge. I mean, creator. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it sounds a little Greek too. Like,
yes. Right. Absolutely. Hey, Chilling, how you doing, man? Good to see you, bro. Good to see you, dude. You crying for it? You crying for it? No need to greet. There's no need to greet, Gaji. What's up?
Sound familiar? In the Secret Book of John, Jesus points out that the false god claimed to be the only God.
The Secret Book of John, is that actually a separate book, or is that in the Secret Supper?
Probably the Secret Supper.
Yeah. Right. Secret Book of John and the Secret Supper. I'm gonna have to remember them. Secret Book of John, Secret Supper. Actually, I'm just gonna write it down so I don't forget.
Can you get it at the library? That's what I want to know.
Well, it's just so I don't forget to search it. I'm going to search it and see what comes up. Right. I shouldn't forget it. I'll write it down just in case.
There are people that go by these texts on purpose for probably alternative reasons. Yeah.
So I'll just write on now. So I don't need so secret book of come on. Secret book of John and Secret Supper. Secret. It's just Secret Supper. It's not Secret Last Supper, is it? Secret Supper. Secret Supper.
Secret Supper, yeah. I just want to know how big these books are.
I know. Aye. Well, didn't he at the start? He did lift up a book, didn't he? And it was only quite a paperback. It wasn't quite big. It wasn't that big. What was that? I can't remember if that was just a. He did an Annual LaVey book. But I think he did another one as well.
That was a Satan's Bible, Satanic Bible. Yeah. Then he brought the Cathars, and then he started talking about the Secret Supper. So the Cathars followed. It's got to be a bigger book.
I know. Wow. I just really would like to know where they got this crap information from.
But that he contradicted himself when he commanded that humanity worship no other gods because he's a jealous God. See, in the Bible, specifically Exodus 20:3-5, God says, "You shall have no other gods before me, for I
don't know about that, Daniel, to be honest. Does any of this come from a Freemasons Bible? Not sure if people know the Bible starts on page 3 of the Freemasons Bible. What did they write in that book? I'm not sure, dude. I'm not sure, to be honest, really ain't. No idea. But it's the book of the secret. He's talking about the secret supper and the secret book of John. When John at the secret supper, I would say it's in the secret supper because it's in the secret supper that Jesus is meant to have spoke to John about these secret bloody things.
I got a secret for you. The book. I don't have another one. Not hiding anything.
See, it should. For you shall have no other gods before me, for I am the Lord your God, and I'm a jealous God. Yes, but in the Exodus further on, 20-something 14 is that thing, or 34:14, something like that. It said about his name being jealous, and for he's a jealous God. Yes, jealous God, but not name being jealous. Never said that. Either said Yahweh or Jehovah or something like that, or the Lord, whatever. But never ever said his name was jealous. I did do a video on that ages ago. I need to do another video this. I think I'll have an attempt at doing a video this weekend. Do a premiere. I think I'll do probably a TikTok one. Do some editing. Just do a TikTok one. Do a few edits from TikTok. I don't know what about it yet, but just put some edits together and get a premiere out over the weekend, I think. Yeah, I've got to go and get my phone out today, babe. Yeah, I'm going to go and get it. Anyway.
Well,
the Lord your God."
Sorry?
Nothing, there was a chainsaw going. Before you start.
"Am a jealous God." And Exodus 34:14 says, "Do not worship any other God, for the Lord, whose name is jealous."
Yes, I knew he was going to say it. Yes. Mandela, I'm sorry, it's a crap word for it, Mandela effect. Supernatural change then. This is a supernatural change. His name was never jealous and isn't jealous.
Jealous is a jealous God. Well, this sounds more like an abusive boyfriend than a loving God. In the secret book of John, Jesus points out...
See? Cherry pick to make it sound really bad. And cherry pick parts that have been supernaturally changed as well. Yeah, exactly. He's got no eyebrows. He's like Duncan Goodhue with hair.
PJ, about the jealous God thing, I've always thought like this. If God didn't love us, he wouldn't be jealous, dude. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly. And it's to stress the point of don't do what them Babylonians, them people, don't do what these people are doing in Babylon. You know what I mean? They're all worshipping idols and calves and putting these people before me when they're meant to be worshipping me and stuff like that. And everything God did in the Old Testament was for man's own good in the first place and for the progression of man as well. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. I actually do.
Yes, of course it is, Daniel. Of course it is.
The big problem here, Jesus says. The demiurge said, I am a jealous God, and there is no other God beside me. But by announcing this, he indicated to the angels who attended him that there exists another God. For if there were no other one, of whom would he be jealous? According to the Gnostics, this dark satanic god
Because people use idols as gods.
screwed up by saying that he's a jealous God.
People declare themselves as God. You know, there is only one God Almighty. There is no small g gods. There is no demigods. There is no other gods. People try to make themselves gods. Just saying it in a way man bloody understands. People just don't get the context, do they? Context, context, context.
Because he let it slip that there are other gods.
Say again, Roger.
So if it's written in a context, if you don't understand what context it's written in, you can just pick a piece of it and just use it for whatever you want.
Cool.
God didn't write the Bible like that. It's written like a story, and it has a context to that story. It belongs in sequence with that story. That's all context is. And when people don't understand and get mad about it because they want to go and do stuff like this.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Just cherry pick anything you want. Like the Bible says, if you read it wrongly, the Bible says there is no God. If you read it, you know what I mean? If someone could just cherry pick that and says there is no God. But if you read it properly, it says the fool says in his heart, there is no God. But someone would just take, someone like Sam would take the there is no God part and say, look, even the Bible says there's no God. It's laughing in your face type of thing. It's the type of things they do. I mean, I know it's like an obvious, basic one, but that's the type of thing they do.
To be jealous of. And besides, why would a supposedly perfect God be jealous anyway? It sounds more like someone that needs therapy than a god. Like the Cathars, the Gnostics believed much of the scripture was twisted.
They just don't get it. I mean, in the meaning of jealous as well, it's not like an envious jealousy. It's more like you're my beloved possessions. Basically, I want you to be with me. You need to pick me for love, or else, do you know what I mean? It's got to be bad for you. And it's anything that's done biblically was for man's own good and progression, like I said.
We're the apple of his eye. We're the apple of his eye.
If you do something wrong, exactly. If you do something wrong when you're a kid and your dad hits you for it or grounds you for it, you're crying and all that and stuff. And you're calling him everything because you feel like he's been rotten to you because he's kept you in. But no, you've done something wrong. He's disciplining you because he loves you. He doesn't want you to turn out to be a little shit.
Teaching you a lesson, yeah.
Discipline is love. Such thing as tough love, and love is a choice. It's not always bloody an emotion. We choose to love. If we didn't choose to love, we wouldn't be able to forgive people because these people that do things against us, we don't like them. You know what I mean? So it's hard to forgive people sometimes. And the people, just see, forgive someone of someone murdering your family. Yes, and God says you've got to forgive them. You've got a right to be angry. You know what I mean? It depends what you do with that anger, but you've got a righteous anger, but you still got to forgive, or else God doesn't forgive you. But it doesn't mean to say you have to like that person you're forgiving. It just means that they're forgiven, and you don't hold that against them anymore. You don't have to like them. You don't have to have anything to do with them.
Hey PJ, I'm putting some in chat. I want you to look at it later.
Put some in. Okay.
Well, it's just a little short, like 20 seconds.
Okay, we can put it on.
It's kind of cool. Okay.
Well, you put it in private chat.
No, in the regular chat.
All right. Okay. Put that.
This came on my phone. I looked at it like, yeah, cool.
That's the
There it is.
Oh,
Look at that. Tell me that's not a tree, dude.
All right, yeah, of course. Well, it's definitely
Really?
right there.
I wonder where it is.
Have a look at that. That's the mountain. Tell me that's not a big old. You need to stand up there.
I can see it from here.
That's a big. Then tell me that's not a big tree stump.
Oh no, I've seen them. There's loads of them.
I know, but that one especially, that one's brilliant. I mean, look at it. It just looks like bark, petrified bark. It looks like the stump in the middle rotted out a bit. It got a bit wet and damp, rotted out, and then it's petrified like that. It looks like it's been chopped down. And look at the land underneath it. It's roots. You can see all the roots coming from it.
I don't see how they can argue that it's a tree.
Yeah, it's a tree, man.
They're dumb, dude. They're really dumb.
It's definitely a tree, man. Definitely a tree. That's huge.
It's a volcanic eruption, PJ. Volcanic eruption.
And it. Man, it's here this long. Good to see you, bro.
Hey,
By the demiurge to deceive.
This Lord must have been up all night, man.
Hi, dear.
It's an abrupt transition.
Humanity into believing he was God. The Gnostics even said that this evil being sinned against the world when he said he was the only God. Another Gnostic text called The Reality of the Rulers says, "It is I who am God, there is none apart from me." When he said this, he sinned against the entirety. In other words, since we're all pieces of the true God of light, that means all of us are gods. And
oh, no doubt. No doubt. Knew that was coming at some point. It's all about you again. So you're part of the true God. So all his views are God. So God is not a trinity now. He's a multitude. He's a hive mind of people. Yeah.
Yeah.
No doubt. No doubt.
Kenneth Copeland thinks the same thing, dude.
Exactly. Does that not show you how evil that? See, point out all cherry pick all the things that make God sound like really bad in the Old Testament and all that, and then turn around and say you're God. You're God. You're not even saying little g. You're part of God, and who's actually Satan, but you're thinking he's God, or trying to deceive people into thinking he's God. Because you probably don't believe that yourself. He probably doesn't believe this. He's just saying it to put people against God. You know, he's probably just a Satanist and knows who Satan is, but wants that kind of life.
so when the demiurge said that he was the only God, he sinned against everything, because he isn't the only God, since we're all divine. So according to the Gnostics, God was the first sinner, not Adam.
You're divine. Show me your power. Show me what you can do that's divine. Demonstrate to me. Do what Jesus did, walk across water, multiply fish, calm a storm, bring someone back to life. Show me your divine power, dude. Show me your divine power. No, you can't. Wow. Claim to be God and you've got no power? What?
And Eve. In another Gnostic text, the Testimony of Truth, they actually list out evidence.
Shouldn't you be able to say, let there be? And then something happens.
Oh.
Exactly, Jonah. Jonah said something about what did Jonah say? What I seen it there. Where did I see it? Oh yeah. How come all Antichrists have faggot long hair and look like freaks, but our Lord didn't have? No, he wouldn't have had long hair. It says to keep back then you had to keep your hair short. And all these things we long hair. I mean, it might not have been dead short, maybe a little kind of bob kind of length down the eye, but they had beards and short hair. Women had long hair. Because people always say, oh, men had long hair before women. What? What makes you say that? It's rubbish. Jesus had long hair. No. Jesus didn't. Nowhere does it say Jesus had long flowing locks of hair. Nowhere. It just people depict it that way.
From the story of the Garden of Eden to show.
In fact, in the Old Testament, it says Jesus would be uncomely. Nothing that anybody would desire physically. That means he was ugly. Physically, he was ugly.
That the Creator is a false God. First, it accuses God of withholding knowledge from humanity. The fact that God makes knowledge off limits should be a huge red flag. The book asks, why would God make knowledge forbidden? The Testimony of Truth says, but what sort?
Why would God make... No. Why would he make it forbidden? because look what happened when you ate of it. When you started knowing of it, what happened then? Did sin not come into the world? That's kind of why he withheld it, I think, dude. Come on. Get a grip.
What is this God? First, he maliciously refused Adam from eating from the tree of knowledge. The book then goes on to show that God is a liar and is not all-knowing. See, after Adam eats from the tree of knowledge, God tries to find Adam and asks, "Where are you?" Well, an omniscient, all-knowing...
Oh, come on. He knows where he is. He's trying to get Adam to say, oh, see if he hides. Oh, do you know what I mean? It's testing Adam to see what Adam does. He's not... Oh, wow. Do you actually think God didn't know where he was at? If he can smell blood, he can know from that distance, he knows where you're at. He's ubiquitous. He's omnipresent. He knows where you're at.
They're trying to paint God as the villain here, dude.
Yeah, of course. He doesn't know how to bloody read it. If he actually believes this, I don't think he believes this. I think he's doing this to put a mark against God, obviously. But if he does actually believe this, then wow, he just really doesn't know how to translate scripture at all. Unbelievable, man. That's crazy.
God would already know where Adam was. The testimony of truth says, secondly, he said, "Adam, where are you?" God does not have foreknowledge? Would he not know from the beginning? It then calls God a malicious grudger because he casts Adam and Eve out of the garden, holding a grudge and never allowing them to return. The testimony of truth says, surely he has shown himself to be
Discipline, consequences. Wow. Hey, Dave Banner, how you doing, man? Good to see you, dude. Good to see you. Bless you, man, for coming. Which you expect to get away from, like, listen, if we do a crime here, right? Fine, you could say to God, just say you grape someone. God will forgive you if you're truthful, and you ask for forgiveness. God will forgive you. Just because He forgives you, does that mean to say you're not going to get any consequences? You're still going to go to jail. God's still going to let you go to jail. But He's forgiven you, but you still have to pay the consequences for it. He's expecting these things to be consequence-free.
Yeah.
Wow.
a malicious grudger. And what kind of God is this? See, the testimony of truth keeps saying, what kind of God is this? And of what sort is this God? Because the book is trying to get the reader to think logically and wake up to the fact that these aren't the actions of a good God, but of a villain, a tyrant, a devil. The testimony of truth goes on to say that those who hear the story of the Garden of Eden and don't realize the evil of this so-called God are blind. It points out how cruel this God is, even to those who serve him. The testimony of truth says, and what kind of God is this? For great is the blindness of those who read, and they did not know him. And he said, I am the jealous God. I will bring the sins of the fathers upon the children until 3 and 4 generations. And he said, I will make their heart thick, and I will cause their mind to become blind, that they might not know nor comprehend the things that are said. But these things he has said to those who believe in him and serve him. The testimony of truth is shouting to the reader, how can you read the story of the
Then, out of context, I'm trying to pick the bits that look the harshest. There was reasons for these kind of things. You're just cherry picking things and try to cherry pick the worst part. Idiot.
Garden of Eden and think that God is the good guy. Hello? This false god is literally making knowledge forbidden. I remember when I came across the Gnostics, it was incredible. Here were people who were pointing out the same things that I had been thinking when I was a Christian. They weren't just accepting what they were told, they were questioning it, challenging it, and looking for deeper hidden truths. I also remember wondering why the message of Jesus was so different from the God of the Old Testament. So, according to the Gnostics, how does Jesus fit into all this? Well, like the Cathars, the Gnostics believed that Jesus was a messenger from the true God of light, not the demiurge, but that this message was twisted by his disciples. In fact, the Gnostics saw the disciples of
Yep. Here we go.
Jesus as being totally evil. They claimed that the disciples didn't understand Christ's message and worshipped the demiurge. In the Gnostic book, The Gospel of Judas, there's a passage where Jesus actually laughs at the disciples' prayers and tells them that they don't know who he is or the God he comes from. The Gospel of Judas says, "The disciples said to him, 'Master, why are you laughing at our prayer?' He answered and said to them, 'I'm not laughing at you. You're not doing this because you want to, but because this, your God, will be praised.' They said, 'Master, you are the Son of our God.' Jesus said, 'How do you know me? Truly, I say to you, no generation of the people among you will know me.' When
This is the book of Judas he's on about, isn't it?
Oh yeah, it sounds like it, doesn't it?
Yes, not a real, there was no such thing as the Gospel of Judas. No such thing as the Gospel of Judas. Come on.
I want to read the Gospel of Roger tomorrow.
He's an elven Satanist. It looks like, that's why I thought he did look very elven. I did say he looked like Legolas or something.
Maybe he starred in the movie, you know?
I dare say.
his disciples heard this, they started to get angry and furious and started to curse him in their hearts. But when Jesus noticed their ignorance, he said to them, "Why are you letting your anger trouble you? Has your God within you become angry with your souls?" Jesus then takes Judas aside and tells him about the realm that he actually comes from. Jesus said, "Come, that I may teach you about secrets no person has ever seen. For there exists a great and boundless realm, whose extent no generation of angels has seen, in which there is a great invisible spirit, which no eye of an angel has ever seen, no thought of the heart has ever comprehended, and it was never called by any name." So according to the Gnostics, Jesus didn't come to die for our sins, but
certainly is full of negative energy. I get you, man. I understand. But I like to be able to call these things out, man. Especially just like anybody says after and that. And I like to be able to say, look, this guy's talking crap if you think anything like this. You know, look, try and make, do you know what I mean? Have a bit of sense. Go and read scripture for yourself and work it out.
rather to reveal hidden knowledge, to awaken the divine
Dorian, good to see you, bro. He's a Sauron disciple. Definitely, dude. Definitely.
spark within all of us so that we all can realize that we are God. Achieving gnosis, or secret knowledge, allows us to transcend the material world and reunite with the pleroma.
Only 10 minutes of it left. Luke, I'll be finished after that. I won't talk too much. I'll get through it.
Our true home, the realm of
Again, dude.
These are short, huh? These videos.
This one was this one was half an hour. Yeah, it's been, I've already been on. Nearly 2 hours. I've been on. Been on the hour and 50 already. Yeah, it's half an hour. The other one I showed earlier, that I showed halfway through this one. That one's on for about 15. But this one's 30-odd minute one. Yeah. And it's been on 21 minutes. 31 minutes. This one.
divine light. So in early Christianity, the idea that the creator God was evil and Jesus came from a higher God was spreading fast. In fact, did you know that the world's first Bible...
John Bon Jovi's here shorter than that now. It's funny you should mention John Bon Jovi because Vicky showed me something about him yesterday. He talked someone down that was going to jump off a bridge, didn't he? He talked a lady down that was going to go and commit harikari off a bridge. He talked her down and gave her a hug and all that. Fair play to him, man. Fair play.
Bible was actually based on this very idea. As early Christianity was just beginning to take shape,
Hi, Dave. We already had a look at them earlier. The satanic symbols behind them. Loads of them.
in the 1st and 2nd centuries, someone stepped forward who challenged everything people thought they knew about God, and this man was Saint Marcion. Marcion was a theologian, and he had a radical vision, but what exactly did he see that others didn't? Well, as Marcion studied the scriptures,
I get you, Dorian. He is kind of got that kind of vibe.
and read about all the violence and bloodshed, he uncovered something shocking. He believed that the God of what would become the Old Testament and the God of Jesus were completely different beings. The Old Testament God, according to Marcion, was the demiurge, a wrathful, vengeful creator obsessed with control. But the God that Jesus spoke of was a God of light, love, and...
You see that? A lion and a snake kind of together. Yeah. See how they like to mix up things? You know?
Another mythology, dude.
Mm-hmm.
liberation. So if these two gods were so different, what did Marcion do about it? Marcion compiled the first Christian canon. In other words, he put together the world's first Bible. Now, what made this Bible so controversial? Well, Marcion completely rejected the books that would later become the Old Testament. Why? Because he believed they were the works of the demiurge, not the true God. Instead, he created a new canon, which included only a shorter version of Luke's Gospel in a section that he called the Evangelicon, and 10 of Paul's epistles in a section called the Apostolicon. If we took today's Bible and
So a little bit of Luke, 10 of Paul's letters,
A little bit of Luke.
no Revelation, and what did he say? Something eloquent, something called whatever. What? That's not a Bible. Sorry, dude. That's not a Bible. You haven't even got a New Testament now. Wow.
What kind of Bible is that in his hand? This Holy Bible, huh?
Yeah, that's just a normal Bible.
Yeah.
removed all the texts that Marcion rejected as being evil or twisted.
Yeah, Marcion rejected. A dude rejected it. Oh, nice one, Dave. Nice one, Dave. Cheers. I was on last night anyway. I swapped nights with Flat swapped nights with me because he had his daughter's birthday last night. So he did Tuesday and I did Thursday. So I was doing a stream anyway, but it just so happened that I got my 300 by that time. 304 now. Yeah, nice one, dude. Bless you, man. So we had a decent stream last night, actually. We did 3 hours, just over 3 hours.
I stayed awake for the whole thing.
Vicky stayed awake for it, aye. Yeah, it was decent. It was decent. I didn't go far with the thumbnail. Like I just stuck up I was going to put up like Eat Hartley Boys for Tonight We Dine in Hell. I mean, versus Sparta, but yeah, I thought you guys would get it. Yeah. Cheers, dude. Bless you, man.
By the demiurge, it would look like this. Marcion compiled the world's first Bible like this to remove the influence of the demiurge, emphasizing that Christ's true message was about freeing humanity from this dark, oppressive, evil deity. In Marcion's view, Jesus wasn't here to enforce the old laws of the demiurge, he was here to break us free. Like the Gnostics, Marcion believed that the disciples had misunderstood Christ's teachings and twisted them to fit the agenda of the demiurge. Historian Bart Ehrman said, Marcion believed that after Jesus left this earth, his followers, the disciples, changed his teachings, misinterpreting his gospel message. They never fully...
Of course. That's right. So that's why they handpicked only 10 of Paul's letters because the disciples, the apostles, got it all wrong, mistook what Jesus said. You know what I mean? Even though Jesus said to Peter, you know what I mean? I'll build my church on you. You're the rock, sort of thing, basically. Wow. And which church will be built upon you, or whatever. Well, that's paraphrasing, you know. But come on, how can you say that, man? Wow.
They understood Jesus' teaching that the Creator was not the true God. But
wow, so they were fallacious then. They were fallacious. They totally misunderstood Jesus' teachings. I'm sure Jesus knew who he was picking, you know? How could they mistake it? After all they've seen from Jesus, how would they mistake it? What, do you think Jesus made a mistake by picking them? No. Knew what he was doing.
how did Marcion convince others that this was the truth? Well, to back up his claims, Marcion wrote a book called Antitheses. In this book, he laid out contradiction after contradiction between the Old Testament God and the teachings of Jesus. For example, you've probably
just realized the cut he's got on his neck is kind of star-like, isn't it?
It is. Huh.
Mm.
It is French. He's got stars in his chest. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
No pain.
Weird guy.
heard the phrase an eye for an eye and a tooth for a tooth, right? Well, that's something in the Old Testament that God says, specifically in Exodus 21:24. But Marcion pointed out that Jesus taught something totally different. In Luke 6:29,
What, turn the other cheek? Yeah. Eye for an eye, tooth for tooth still stands. It's still fair to be eye for an eye, tooth for tooth but Jesus teaches another way, like to be forgiven. But Jesus doesn't say be walked over. You know what I mean? Turn your cheek once. That's it. You don't keep turning your cheek. Yes, you can forgive, continue to forgive. But you don't get walked over. An eye for an eye, tooth for tooth still stands in fairness. He came to fulfill what it said.
He tells us to turn the other cheek. And if we look in the book of Matthew, even though Marcion ultimately rejected that book, we find an even clearer example where Jesus directly acknowledges he's...
So Marcion, he denied that book, but it says turn the other cheek. So why are you using it?
contradicting the Creator God. Matthew 5:38 says, "You have heard it was said, eye for eye and tooth for tooth. But I tell you, if anyone slaps you on the right cheek, turn to them the other cheek also." Why would Jesus directly contradict the Old Testament God if he was really the true God? Marcion points out many
Don't get it. It's not a contradiction at all. They just don't get it. They don't get the context of turn the other cheek. Everybody just thinks it means, oh yeah, just turn the other cheek. Let him slap you about. You know what I mean?
contradictions like this. Remember Isaiah 45 where God says he's the only God over and over again? Yeah, don't remind me. Well, in that same chapter, in verse 7, God says, "I form the light and create darkness. I make peace and create evil. I, the Lord, do all these things." Well, hold on a minute. God created darkness and evil? That's completely the opposite of what the church teaches today. Marcion saw this verse as a huge red flag and concluded that this being must not be the true God, that there must be a higher God. So was Marcion successful in convincing others? No, he wasn't just successful, he was extremely successful. Bart Ehrman said Marcion had a huge following.
I don't think God said he created evil. That's got to be changed. And if he said something like that, it's not in that context. But I can't remember that scripture. I mean, I've heard people say it before, but that's possibly a changed one. But if it does say that, it's definitely not in that context. I mean, he created the person that created evil. He is light, so without him there is darkness. You know what I mean? I suppose he means it in that context when it comes to the darkness side. You know? Because without light there can't, you know what I mean? There is, if without light it is darkness. One without the other.
In some parts of the Christian world at the end of the 2nd century, there were apparently more Marcionites than other kinds of Christians. But if Marcion was so successful and created the world's first Bible,
well, if there was more Marcionites than other types of Christians, how come there isn't anymore? I mean, there's a lot of heretical Christians, obviously, which I would question their faith. Absolutely.
Specifically to emphasize that Jesus came from a higher God, where did the Bible that we know today come from? After all, it contains all the dark scriptures that the Gnostics and Cathars believed were inspired by Satan. Well, first we have to understand how other Christians reacted to Marcion. So even though Marcion and the Marcionites were pacifists and preached progressive ideas for their time, such as equality for women, a lot of the church leaders saw them as a threat. Tertullian and Irenaeus.
Wow. You had the socialists. See what I mean? Nothing new under the sun. You had the social justice warriors back then as well. LGBTQ and all that. They were in Sodom. Are you still there, Rog?
Yeah,
Aye.
I'm watching.
Spoke out against Marcion and his teachings, and St. Polycarp even called him the firstborn of Satan. Ultimately, the early Christian church declared Marcionism a heresy, and his followers were persecuted and forced to go underground while Marcion's works were burned. So the creation of the Bible that we know today was actually driven by religious, political, and social factors. The Council of Nicaea, called in 325 CE by the Roman Emperor Constantine, played a critical role in this. Now, the council's main goal was to unite the church and settle religious arguments like the true nature of Christ. So even though the Council of Nicaea didn't literally create the biblical canon, it paved the way for later meetings, and over time, various councils and church leaders debated and decided which texts should be included in the Bible. Many books were left out, and those with different beliefs were branded as heretics and brutally persecuted. These early church leaders were not just focused on religion, they were also interested in gaining power and control. The Gnostics Gnostics were also heavily persecuted during the early centuries of Christianity, particularly from the 2nd to 4th century CE.
Well, I just say the Gnostics weren't Christians, and the people persecuting weren't Christians either, because they were Catholic.
And it only intensified after the Council of Nicaea. They were labeled heretics, excommunicated, many of them killed, and their books were destroyed. But the Cathars received the most intense persecution. The church launched a campaign to completely eradicate them, leading to the
Again, heretic against heretic.
Albigensian Crusade, which was a brutal military campaign aimed at destroying the Cathar movement. The first mission against the Cathars occurred on July 22nd, 1209, and
See, it's not God that does it. People come in his name, use his name, and come in the name of God, and then kill people. You know what I mean? That's not God doing that. That's not
I got a
God.
question for you.
Mhm.
Do they have any validity for the Cathars and their persecution? Any
That's
historic?
That's it. Is it? I mean, is this? Oh, do you remember we was talking about Catherine Coleman the other day? I found one. It's maybe because I was talking about it and I got a clip up, didn't I? But yeah, I found a what was that 40-minute one from 2 years ago from Daniel Long for Truth. I think I've put the link in before for Daniel Long, and I think I remember watching it, and on the thumbnail it says creepy. I might do that one tomorrow. Yeah, Saturday tomorrow, and I'll do what's Saturday? Yeah, I'll do that in the morning.
No.
What do you mean, no?
Is it Saturday tomorrow?
Yeah. It is, isn't it?
I don't know.
No, it's Friday.
What?
Well, you said it's Saturday for you.
Yeah, it's Saturday tomorrow. It's Friday now. It's Saturday tomorrow. Yeah, I'll do that one. I'll do the Catherine Coleman one tomorrow. She's so creepy, man. So creepy.
it's known as the Massacre at Béziers. The Crusaders wanted to know how they could tell the difference between the Cathars and the Catholics. The military commander Arnaud Amalric allegedly said, "Kill them all. God will recognize his own." Afterwards, the Inquisition was created to eradicate any remaining Cathars. Those who refused to renounce their beliefs were often tortured
Again, heretics and heretics.
and burned at the stake. The last known Cathar perfect was executed in 1321. The Bible we have today includes many of the texts that the Cathars, Gnostics, and Marcions saw as evil or misleading. They believed that these texts would deceive people and hide the true teachings of Jesus and the higher God of light. So the question is the God of the Old Testament actually Satan? And did the church unknowingly or knowingly create a Bible inspired by the devil to fool humanity into believing that he's God? We've seen that the Bible
So, yeah, Moses, you know what I mean? All the prophets, judges and kings and all that, you know what I mean? They all wrote, and all the scribes and all that, all wrote something to put in a canonized Bible to stick up for an evil God. Why would they do that if he was evil? Why would they do that? See how they have to like project. You know what I mean? This is what they do. They're trying to retroactively project. You know what I mean? Put it back to the start and say God was evil.
It's a good way to not take a moral stance yourself. You're always the victim.
Wow, dude.
It's victimization.
Yeah, I will do another one from this guy, but I'll do it next week so we don't have to have them too close together because he angers me a little bit.
was filled with stories of God demanding violence, conquest, and bloodshed, such as the killing of the firstborn children in Egypt, the slaughter of entire populations, like in the case of Canaan, where God commands the Israelites to destroy every man, woman, and child. And these are all just a few examples of the horrific events described in these ancient books. But does that mean that Satan literally wrote the Bible? While the idea of Satan actually writing the scriptures is pretty far-fetched, what if we look at it symbolically? What if the true devil isn't some
Everything was corrupted at that point. It had to go.
Well, you know, the Bible's all symbolic too, on top of it. There's no historical value in it at all.
I mean, look at, like, you could see where he's got mercy and stuff like that. I mean, where they painted Passover. with the blood around the doors. You did that, you were saved. Do you know what I mean? Is that not His mercy, right there? Considering the sin it was going on. Wow.
Well, you know,
Horned
if
figure
God
lurking.
tell you what sin was to start with, you wouldn't know what it is.
That's right. That's right. That's right.
And sin goes against nature and God, so it will kill you.
Right.
In the shadows, but rather the darker aspects of humanity itself. Throughout history, these stories have been used to justify countless atrocities. Wars, crusades, inquisitions, witch hunts. People have been persecuted, tortured, and killed in the names of these scriptures. The Bible's been used to defend slavery, segregation, sexism, and even genocide, all in the name of a so-called righteous God. But was it divine will, or the human lust for power? See, the real Satan isn't a being like how it's described in the Bible, but a mindset that thrives on control, fear, hatred, and the suppression of truth. And this satanic force has been the god of humanity for far too long. In other words, the Bible's darker passages can be viewed as a reflection of our human capacity for evil, ignorance, and manipulation. The stark contrast between Jesus and Satan, the god of light and the god of darkness, reflects the inner conflict within humanity itself. So the satanic manipulation of the Bible isn't about a literal devil tricking us. It's about how the scriptures have been used to control, oppress, and inflict pain rather than to liberate and enlighten. It's a projection of all our dark urges. It shows us not the darkness of Satan as a literal being, but
the Bible is a projection of all our dark urges. Is that what you're saying?
It almost sounded like that.
What?
Strange that is.
I think that's what Luciferianism is to you, really.
the dark side of humanity. We as humans need to stop blindly believing in things just because they appear in an old book. It's like
I agree. Blindly believing in things. What you just described there was pure blind belief.
Yeah, mysticism too. On top of that,
Didn't supply any way. You said where the information come from, but how they got it, where all this. How did you know that Jesus said that to John? Why wouldn't that have been recorded biblically?
They had to add on to it, you know,
Of
to make it
course.
fit their narrative. Yeah.
Of course. And what does it say in Revelation? Exactly. I mean, Satan ain't got to give a warning like that. He ain't got. Wow. The way they try and mix that, I tell you what, it tries to make it so convoluted. Do you know what I mean? The way they go at it. There's no other way to describe it. Just mix everything up, intertwine it. It's like vines all twisted together. Just everything gets all mashed up and distorted and transformed into something horrific and formless.
retweeting fake news without fact-checking. That's incredibly dangerous. But how does one fact-check an ancient book? Well, by using logic and reason. Through reason, we can come.
Yeah.
What does that got to do with fake news?
Exactly. And he, like you say, blindly believed. Telling us we shouldn't believe. He blindly believed, or if he believes it, he's blindly believing. Same as what the anti-flat earthers do with their textbooks and listening to the bloody pseudoscientific numpties on YouTube and in the mainstream. He said the devil doesn't exist. It's just the Bible, Lord. They're contradictions, man.
Come to the conclusion that an all-loving God would never demand violent sacrifices and worship. Cathars, the Gnostics, and even Marcions saw through the facade and wanted to bring us closer to a higher truth. So the real power isn't found in ancient books, but in our ability to think critically, to seek out truth, to understand that the divine isn't found in fear and violence, but in love, empathy, reason, and wisdom. We need to really think about.
Right, so it's not found in ancient books. So where did you just find that information?
Old book.
Book. A few.
A brand new book just happened yesterday.
He used Google.
about our beliefs, question the stories we've been told, and look for a deeper understanding of the divine in ourselves that goes beyond fear and dogmatic rules. So how do we do this exactly? We have the ability to reinterpret these texts in ways that promote kindness, empathy, and understanding, and to absolutely reject the parts that are hateful, divisive, and ignorant. It's important to remember that the power of any book isn't in its literal words and stories, but in how those words and stories inspire us to live better lives, love, and seek the truth. Remember that the power to uncover the truth and reshape our understanding of the divine is in our hands. Humans have been their own devils.
No. Hold on. Humans have been their own devils, but you say you're God. You say you're part of the God. You're all God. But hold on. You're not human. So
He's an angel.
have you not got the demonic angel in you as well?
Uh-huh.
No? How did you get rid of that demonic angel, dude?
I don't know how he did it.
Back deliverance from the fallen angel. Sorry, not demonic angel. The fallen angel. And I mean, like I say, when I was born, did I just lay still until this angel came into me? Because that's what he said. The bodies were still. Says they were lifeless bodies, didn't he? And then the angels came into them. When? I mean, it could only have been Adam and Eve that came into firstly. And then they had kids, the way that men and women have kids. So when did this fallen angel go into? There's no way it went into conception. I don't think an angel would fit into the conception. Kind of a little bit too small, you know. It's not happening, you know. It's just ridiculous. He hasn't explained how that works.
He's an old soul, dude. All the old devils are old souls, and they're taking over human bodies as they're born.
Maybe it's like Scientology. You have to pay to get these tatings out of you. You know what I mean?
Well, we got to read the books, man. Those old books that you don't get stuff from.
Aye.
But we are also our own saviors, and we must step into that.
No. Yeah, how can you be your own savior? How do you? No, Luca, it's not happening.
Oh my days. Go
This
away.
Luca, Vicky's here. She's not going. You're not coming in. She's not going to want you to thank you. Goodbye.
I would rather break my left arm than listen to you.
He's gone.
That was quick. Yeah.
He's gone. Well, as soon as I said Vicky's here, he went.
You're so scared.
I let him in for 2 minutes the other day, just because there was nobody on. Now he's trying when there's people here.
Shouldn't be on any of
I gave him 2 minutes to say hello to Flats, because Flats was in. It was last Saturday when he gave him said hello to Flats, and because nobody was in yet, nobody was in chat yet. And by the time he left, there was about 3 people in chat. You know what I mean? 3-4 people in chat. Because I was about to stream, I kept saying, right, okay, bye now, Luca. Good to see you. Bye. I made sure he went. It was only well.
Anyway, we want to hear your God, we'll just get Luke in.
Well, yeah, there you go. Let me in. That's Luke saying that.
Hey, PJ, I got a question for you right quick.
Yeah.
Where does he think that the Bible was written from? It was actually taken from old texts they found in certain parts of the world, and they compiled them together, and it told the story of how things happened back.
Yeah. And what about the Dead Sea Scrolls that confirmed it and was in the same, said the same thing?
Yeah, it's like they're telling the same story, and it's in the same language by certain people, and that's where these books come from. It wasn't somebody made the story up. He's making out like somebody made the story up about God, Jesus Christ, Moses, all the 12 tribes of Israel. All the stories is made up.
Luca, go away. You're not getting in. Luca, you're not getting in. Go away. I don't want you to stop writing in private chat, Luca. You didn't say what? You didn't say what? No, you're not getting in.
If he's got something to say, you have to go and
No,
fix it.
no, Luca, you didn't say. Luke said it in chat because he does an impression of you. So Luke in chat said, "Let me in." When I said to you in here that I'm not letting you in because he's pretending to be you. You weirdo. I know you didn't say that. It was Luke that said it. I wasn't saying it. Right, cool. Bless you, man. Ta-da. He's like, he says, I didn't say that. I'm like, what? What do you mean? Let me in. I'm like, what? I thought he was demanding to let in. He's like, oh no, I knew what he was saying then. I was like, no, it was Luke. It said, let me in. He's pretending to be you, Luca. I didn't say that. So he has to come back and defend himself. Oh, he does try. He does try, doesn't he? Anyway, let's get the last minute of this going.
Role for the sake of our souls and the future we wish to create. The question is, are you ready to step out of a dark age ruled by Satan and into the light of a new world created by love, empathy, and reason? That's the new beginning. If you want to help my channel grow, become a member on Patreon or YouTube to access.
I really don't want to help your channel grow. In fact, I haven't even gave him a watch. I downloaded his stuff, so it doesn't even give him a view.
Yeah.
Well, I did. Well, mind you, it would have given him a view because I watched the first 2 minutes. But the next one I want, I'll just download it.
Well, you sure you don't want to subscribe and like?
No, he's not even getting a like, dude. I'm sorry. Sorry. I wouldn't even give him a dislike because it's an impression on his channel. You know?
Yeah.
No, I'm Spartacus. True, man. Yeah, I mean, I suppose that was okay to look. I mean, I was going to say it's decent, but no, the guy was just full of cherry picking, heretical, fallacious, spewing lies. I don't even think he believed half of it. I think it's just an ideology. He wants to. It sounds good to him, all this stuff, and then blaming God for the stuff he doesn't understand. You know what I mean? Or doesn't want to find out the real context because he's got a grudge. He's got a grudge.
No.
Yes, he's got a grudge against the Lord. Duffy and Jake look like twins. They do a little bit, actually. They do. They do, Duffy and Jake. They do, man. They do.
Yeah,
Nice.
he was in it, but I looked at him in person. He doesn't really look like. I thought about it for a second, and I looked at him when I met him. Like, he's not quite like Jake. Jake's a lot bigger than he is, for one.
Yeah. Bigger. Is he a big guy, Jake?
Duffy, yeah, he's bigger than I am. And Duffy's smaller than I am. He's like, he's a little guy.
Yeah, I don't really see. I only see him on YouTube or whatever. So to me, he looks small. I don't think Jake looks big to me.
Jake, I've seen him on YouTube.
Mind you,
He's like a huge guy, but he's at least 160 pounds.
I always thought Arwen, when I used to go on Arwen's channel, I always used to think he was quite short. But he just reminded me of someone being short. And apparently he's quite tall or quite, I don't know. It's the same as when I used to watch Owen Benjamin. And then I realized, I know it's always because he's sitting down, but when I realized he was actually 6'4" or 6'5" or something, when I was like, what? And then because to me he just looked like a normal sized bloke, but then when I seen him standing next to the Jewish guy, Ben Shapiro, is it Jewish guy? Yeah, Ben Shapiro. Yeah. But he doesn't obviously doesn't like the dude anymore. But seeing him stand next to him, and he's huge. He's just tall. But to me, he just looked like a normal sized guy. It's just mad.
Well, I think Jake playing in a band, like I compared his size to like the drum kit and stuff and the keyboard that was there. He's a fairly big guy compared to Dudley.
Yeah. Right. Twin lads here, 7'2". Wow, man.
Whoa.
Twins don't have to be the same size or sex. I know. I know they don't. No, they don't.
I don't think they're twins though.
But if I know you've got two types of twins where you've got two separate eggs, right? And identical, right? But can identical be male and female?
No.
So identical can only be the same sex, right? But so fraternal could be male or female.
Yeah, because
right.
Get a picture of Jake and Duffy and put them up on the screen to compare them.
Right. Yeah. All right. Okay. I'll quickly do that.
See what's that?
Yeah, I did. Yeah, I said it. Yeah, I said it. Yeah, heard it. Jake,
the asshole,
and
Duffy.
Duffy.
I call him duffel bag. Yeah.
T. F-E. See if it comes up automatically. Jake the Arsehole's there. Right, hold on, let me just get Jake the Arsehole first. I can't really get, how am I going to get them up together though?
Uh-huh.
I haven't got anything we can put together on, let me think. Yeah, we'll just have to get them up separate then. It's not because I don't know how to use paint and all that. So I ain't even got paint. I could get that. I could get a picture and put them on together, but I don't know how to do that because I would have to put them on some kind of like paint art or something, to get them together. Because there's not a picture of them together, is that? Or is that?
No.
No.
If you never seen them together, they must be the same person.
Yeah, I don't know that. So I'll just get one at a time. We'll have a quick thing. Yeah, no, I'll do it in two. Hold on.
Can you split the screen?
Hold on, if I might be able to do it. I'm just trying to think. Hold on. Yeah, if I could split the screen on that side. Yeah, hold on, that's what I could do. Right, yeah, okay. I've sussed something out. Let's try that. Right, okay, let's try this. Give me a second.
One.
No, because I need to put it in half.
Two.
Right, hold
More
on.
than a second.
Right, Jake the Arsehole. That's not Jake the Arsehole. None of them are Jake the Arsehole.
Huh.
A
Huh?
lot longer than a second.
I just had a picture of him. Oh, it's only that one. That's the one with stupid hat on. Can't even see his face.
You're talking about the one where he dresses up like Dr. Seuss.
Yeah.
At least he knows there's an asshole.
I'll just put
Yeah.
yeah. Right, there's one there. Yeah. There's one there. Hold on. So let's kind of do that. There's thing. So that one. Extensions, no.
Just look in your ass, people.
There we go. Hold on, that's one there. Right. Okay, like that. Now I have to get another one and do that. There we go. I can sort this now. Right, and Duffy, TFE. See if it comes up. Duffy, TFE. It'd been easier if I get paint or something, but no, I don't mean no.
You're not as good as Keith, dude. I'm telling you.
Oh my god, it's giving me teddies. I can just go to his channel. Hold on. So there should be a pic of him there. Hold on.
Yeah, he likes to put his picture on everything.
Yeah, hold on. I'll go with that. TFE. Hold on. TFE channel. His channel is just called TFE. Oh, it's actually called The Final Experiment. I'm just putting TFE. It's called The Final Experiment, idiot.
Final what?
Final Experiment.
Oh,
Even though it's not one.
then that was the last one that's ever going to be done, too. Ever. It's the final experiment.
Right, so I need to get him up on video and pause. Get that picture up like that. Oh, hold on. Oh, I can get them up in video and put them both side by side. Hold on, get that up like that. Come on. Right, there we go. Right, now I should be able to present full screen, and on my other screen I've got them split. It would have been easier if I do it through paint, but I haven't got paint in that. And I don't know how to use them. I've never used them. So share screen, and I just need to share window. Share window. I don't need to share. Right. Oh no, hold on. Entire screen. So we do it through the window because the window's doing one at a time. Yes, I have to do it through the entire screen. Right. Okay. There we go. Share. That way. There you go. Is that good? Is that okay?
Yeah. Yeah, that looks good.
There you go. So
that ain't the same person, dude. They
no,
kind of
not
look
the same
alike.
person. I mean, look, Duffy's got sticky out ears. Jake the arsehole's got one sticky out, one not. No, they just look similar. Duffy's got eyebrows that go up a bit, then flick down. He's got kind of straight eyebrows across. Yeah, they're not the same person. No, definitely not. But they're definitely they could be brothers. I would say.
Yeah. Look at Jake's shoulders; they're bigger, they're wider.
Yeah, aye. And Jake's a bit younger on that one as well.
Uh-huh. Not the same guy. Huh.
Definitely not. But that's the only way I could do it because I haven't got any paint type of things, no art kind of. And even if I did, I don't really know how to use them. And I mean, I can get pics and all that up, but I don't know if I can get them.
And Jake's got a wider forehead too.
Get them next to each other. I don't know if I can get them on something next to each other. I don't know. So that's the only way I could think to do it right now. So
look at the cranium on Jake. It's fatter at the top. He's got a narrow head.
Hold on. You make me kind of.
Oh, told you guys the truth about.
Oh yeah, that's when he said.
Know this. That's what. Flattered asshole. Went against the grain. I went out, pushed it to the public several times.
Just don't let you freely and
Yes. You're not. Let's all here in Medina.
No, there you go. It could be related. They could be related, but no, of course not. Of course not. Yeah, different faces and all that. I mean, if you turn Jake's face upside down, it'd be the same shape as Duffy's. If you turn his head upside down, it'd be the same shape as Duffy's. Then. There you go. Sorted, mate. Sorted.
Too bad.
Sorted. Oh, I got rid of YouTube. I got rid of YouTube. Don't worry. Sorry, I'll get it back.
We're camping now in the Arctic.
Stop sharing. Yeah, man. I'll get it back now anyway. And I'll play out Mr. Super Sidewindery.
Windery.
Oh, I got 305 subs.
That reminds me, I got an email, Duffy. I'll see if he'll take me to Antarctica with.
Hey, the fourth wise man, how you doing, man? The earth is fat, absolutely fat. Good to see you, man. But I'm just finishing. Thanks for coming, dude. Thanks for coming. So this is the thing people are worried about. No, I don't think they're worried about it. I think people have just been speculating a little bit. I don't know. I mean, I never thought it. I never thought it at all. But yeah, I just thought it was fun to get it up just to see if they looked alike. They do look alike, but yeah, they're definitely not the same person, that's for sure. Definitely not. Anyway, let's play out Mr. Super Saiyan now. Which one did I get up for today? I got Cosmic Dancer.
The what?
Cosmic Dancer.
Oh, nice. You wear
I
tattoos?
was dancing when I was 12. I was dancing when I.
Oh, hold on. Is this one I got copied for last time, babe?
I think so.
Oh, who sings this again? In real life?
No.
Me neither.
Hold on a minute. Let me just find out. Because I'm not sure if this is the one I got. Because it's got a cartoon video behind it. Or was that? No, that was the one with Richie. Hold on a minute. Let me find out. Alright. It's by T-Rex. Ooh.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, no, I can't do this one. Oh, no. Yeah, no, because it's actually T-Rex's voice. You know what I mean? It's not somebody else singing. It's actually Mark Bolan, isn't it? singing. I'll have to do another one.
I think it is.
Yeah, I'll have to do another one. At least I only did a couple of seconds of that. Right, I'll remember not to play that one. I forgot about that. Right, I'll just play one that I've already got in my video files. Let's do. Oh.
You should play some Soundgarden, DJ.
Right, there we go. I just randomly picked it.
All right. Time out, Bob. Nice.
Yeah, man.
Nice. Well,
Yowza!
yeah,
Nice.
she's breaking one of the commandments. You know that, right? Remember Christ said, "Fret thee not, be not afraid."
All right. Hey, Jimenez, you came in at the wrong time, dude. Could someone please let Gabby know I exist? She hasn't spoken to me since we became an eye.
He's the best thing that's ever.
Jimenez, yeah. She was asking for you, like, man, but she's just not too sure about the surname. She says if she marries you, she'll be an anus, and she's not sure about it, dude. She's not sure about being an asshole. I mean, an anus. Sorry. But she does like you a lot. She does like you a lot, dude. She does like you a lot. I know that. I don't know. That's just a super sidewinder, dude. He must know her somehow, you know.
No, she's quite famous.
Oh, right, yeah. Oh, okay. What do you mean famous? Is she famous?
I think so.
Not famous. She's got to be famous.
I think
You mean media? You mean social media famous?
yeah.
You mean infamous then? Yeah, media celebrities.
Go.
I mean social media celebrities, not really celebrities. But yeah, maybe. I mean, I dare say he's
Well,
emailed her or something.
actually famous, but I don't know.
I don't think she is. I think she is. I'm sure she would have more of a name than just Gabrielle, wouldn't she?
Why?
I mean, I don't know, because usually you get some name. I don't know, babe. I've never heard of that.
Madonna. No surname.
Madonna? I never said Madonna.
Kylie. No surname. No,
She's not bloody. She's playing guitar. She's not trying to be a pop star, is she?
No, but what I'm saying is, just because she ain't using her last name doesn't mean she ain't famous.
Well, if she marries Jim, she'll have a last name, won't she? Gabrielinus. Gabrielinus.
Gabrielle.
Gabanus.
Oh my
Famous anus. Yeah, famous anus. Infamous anus.
I love it. He's got quite the imagination, doesn't he?
Oh, I'm telling you, he's cool. He's cool, man.
He's already married Gabrielle and had kids and shit.
Crazy Aussies, man, I'm telling you. They're just as crazy as the Scottish, to be honest.
Yeah. PJ, you're not crazy. You're staying.
Bless you guys. Nice one for being here once again. And I will be on again. We'll see you in Flatches tonight. Some good stuff happening tonight. He's talking to Tinfoil Hat Man, John, and I'm sure there's going to be some observations going on. Some good ones that I've known about for a while. I haven't seen them, but I've known about it. I've known about it for a while. What?
Right, God, show.
Who are you talking to? What do you mean? What do you mean? Shush, I'm not telling them about it. They're going to find out tonight. I don't know what exactly was going on. I've just known about it for months. I wasn't there at the observation. I know a little bit about it, but I'm not going to let on. I'm just saying it's something to look forward to. I'm not letting them know what's happening because I don't know exactly.
Bite your
I just
tongue, PJ.
know the basics about it. That's it. But yeah, tonight, Flatches. And then I'll see you tomorrow morning.
So
For probably Kathleen
My
Coleman.
snoring.
I might do Kathleen Coleman tomorrow. I don't know. We'll check. I'll check it. If there's, might do something a bit more, not so, because he was dark. He was dark today. So something maybe not so good to do Kathleen Coleman tomorrow. Maybe the day after. I'll check. I'll check. We'll see. I'll get something sorted tonight for it. Bless you guys. Bless yous. Thanks for being here. Roger, thanks for being here.
No problem.
Dave, thanks for being here.
That's okay.
Here the sun sets free. It's free.
Indeed.
Indeed.
Ta-ra, guys.
Bye.